Right. Um, I have mixed feelings about dot hack root because it was the first dot hack thing that I saw. And by the way,
It's a terrible first impression.
this was like a prevalent show before Sword Art Online, and so it's not like Sword Art. So people like to credit Sword Art as like the first isekai, but that's not true. And it
No,
wasn't,
that's not
and it
true at
wasn't,
all.
and it wasn't even the first.
Escaflowne is an isekai technically
It
too.
wasn't even the first kids trapped in a video game type story.
Even Digimon's an isekai. If you really
Digimon,
think about
fictional monsters, hell yeah it is. By the way, I am live.
All right, I will go live now. You want to get that little tidbit?
I like to do the little like cold open tidbits. I think that they're fun.
No, they're a lot of fun. All right, and I am live now too. Welcome, dear viewers, to the weekly chat with Nick and Pat.
Hello. Today
I'm your host, Unlucky Magician 76, and there is my co-conspirator, the Obsidian Man.
Hello.
Also known as Patrick. Or is he? I can't quite tell. There's something different about you.
Oh, you know what? You want to know what's different? I'll tell you what's different. I gotta do webcam, so now I'm 60 frames per second. Do you see this fluid movement? Do you see this?
Yes. But I don't know. There's just something about you that I just can't quite put my finger on.
Listen. 60 frames per second. I have more agile movement.
Oh man. Yeah, 60.
That's the big change.
Yeah, that's the big change. Yeah.
I shaved. Right. I know you're beating around the bush.
I was gonna go the whole show just making cracks about it, but not actually admitting it.
Okay.
I just wanted.
So what?
Yeah, you shaved. You look 5 years younger.
I look like a baby.
You go from dad to baby.
The way that my friend on Discord put it, she said to me, Patrick, you look like you've gone from hey Patrick, buy us beer to hey Patrick, do you know who can buy us beer?
I know. You go back, like you de-age yourself without that beard by a considerable margin. It's not one of those things where it's like 1 to 2 years. It's like 5 years.
No, I know.
It's like half a decade.
So usually, as you've seen on the previous shows, I do. If you're listening to this just via podcast, you'll have no idea what this segment's about. So I'm sorry. But if you're listening, if you're watching this on YouTube, typically speaking, I do sport the beard, kind of the trimmed beard. But once or twice a year, I'd like to just shave it all off. I get what I call a bad beard, where sometimes like
kind of like it grows longer on the sides,
yeah,
but still is pretty short on there, so it kind of looks like mutton chops, but not really.
Well, so sometimes like certain hairs will kind of grow in like this might be TMI, but like some of the hairs will grow in kind of like a twisted kind of way, and so like you'll have a hair that's supposed to like fold down on the chin, and it'll go out instead, be like woo, and it's like, what are you doing?
That's why that's why like if my beard, like I actually trimmed this not too long ago.
Yeah,
like it, you can hardly even tell. But it's one of those things where I just put a guard up and then I just kind of hack at it a little bit.
That's what I do. Normally, that's what I do as well. I don't just let it. I don't let it grow. Let it grow.
Let it grow.
Yeah. On my razor, I have a little guard too, and it's the guard setting that is like the second smallest, and so I find that like that's a good balance. Like it'll give me like a few inches of hair, but anyway, I like twice a year I like to just shave it all off because I like to see like what
you like to do. You've done this since you've been growing the beard out. Like it's kind of like a reset almost.
Well, yeah,
I do the exact same thing.
I do the reset, but then also I like to just see how my face has changed over the course of a year. Because sometimes you know how it is. You have like you're so used to like having facial hair cover your face for so long that you almost forget what you look like without it. So
I know what I look like. I look terrible. I will rock this beard.
Are you saying I look terrible? I don't look as good.
No, I'm saying I look terrible. No, you look good. No, I'm saying I look terrible without a beard. You look fine. You look like you went from like 30s to like early 20s in like 2 seconds. It's strange.
Hey guys, I'm optimistic about the future, and then once you start growing facial hair, it's like everything sucks. That's right.
I'm sure there's some nihilists rocking the clean shave.
Actually, that's not true. Most of the creepy white nationalist dudes are clean shaven. Oh
no! Oh no!
Wait, what is the Home Alone?
The
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to put the. That's gonna look great for the
Yeah,
thumbnail.
I'm holding for the thumbnail, of course, obviously.
Oh God! I would just assume that every funny face that I do on this damn show is gonna end up in the thumbnail eventually.
At some point, yeah. So okay, so this is
at some point.
so I make the so full disclosure, I make the thumbnails for these videos. If you're watching it on YouTube, and I have. I don't know if I should admit this or not. I have a folder of like all of the Photoshop cutouts I've done of us, and there's I have an entire folder that's like Nick cutouts where it's just you like, or like, and there's some of me that are there are some of me that are like, and like.
Oh God! Oh wait, should I do the PogChamp though?
Oh, that's yeah. Yes. Yes. I love it. Anyway, just to address something, we were off last week. We had some stuff come up.
We had some scheduling conflicts.
We did have some scheduling conflicts, and the main thing is
honestly blame me.
The main
honestly
thing.
blame me because I had to work.
Well, no,
So-
not only that, but you got your first dose of the vaccine.
I did.
On the day that we
I
were
really did.
on the day we were gonna record, I actually it sucked for both of us because like I had something come up, and then Nick is like, "Oh, by the way, I'm getting my first dose of the vaccine, so I can't record today." I'm like, "Okay."
By the way,
how dare you?
Glad I'm an essential worker. Let's go.
I know.
I still have to work through this shit.
I hope at some point I can get the first dose of like the Pfizer vaccine. And by the way, if you're listening,
you qualify.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I think you do actually qualify because you work with at-risk people.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say too much.
Yeah, technically speaking, I do work with at-risk groups, and so I think I could get in on that. The classification. So like every state is different, but in California there's different. Actually, I'm not sure. Is it different from state to state? I'm not entirely sure. But
I think
but at least in California,
I'm pretty sure it is.
They have a specific list of like, oh, these are the people who qualify, who are like the top priority people that get all of the vaccines.
Yeah, it was like 75 and up for.
But according
like a
to
month.
According to good old Joey Coco Biden, according to Joe Biden,
just tremendous.
During one of
Here's
his
your stimulus check, you cocksuckers.
Hey, Jack, don't mess with me, Jack. Hey, Jack, you can't mess with this. I'm America, Jack.
Oh, good.
By the way, the reason I keep making the Jack joke is that every time Joe Biden is put in a corner, like watch this the next time that Joe Biden has to debate somebody, or the next time he's kind of like flustered.
He just calls people Jack.
Yeah, he's like, you can count on it, Jack.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah.
All right, there, Jim Bob.
He was saying at some point that April 1st, availability of the vaccine from state to state will dramatically skyrocket. So I'm hoping that's not an April Fool's Day joke. I'm hoping I hope that's a real thing.
We're still a couple days. It's like the 30th right now, so we still have time until. I love the memes. The memes are fantastic. Dude,
yeah,
I know it's really fucked up, and I know it was like a terrible thing to happen to him, but did you see the footage of Joe Biden falling down the stairs to Air Force One? I'm not saying that's
I
funny.
did. I did.
It's not like he like slipped a little bit, but it wasn't that bad.
I think that the news culture, and by the way, when I say news culture, I'm talking about both the right and the left when it comes to this crap. I feel like they will sensationalize like fucking every stupid thing the president does. And like, listen, and I'm guilty of this too. Like, there was that whole, like, there was that time a couple months ago when Trump, like, he was at some like military base doing like a rally or some crap, which by the way I think is illegal to do, but.
Is it really?
I think, that's not the point of the story, though. So, like, he was going down, like, a ramp to get to, like, Air Force One or whatever. And, like, he, like, had trouble. The story was that he had trouble going down this, like, ramp. And so the news media would not shut the fuck up about it for, like, a month. And they were just like, oh, he can't go down a ramp. And I'm like, listen, I'm an anti-Trump guy as much as the next person, but, like, focus on the actual bad stuff he does. don't focus on like why you're a news organization. And by the way, I'm not trying to pick on any specific one. They all do this.
Yeah, left or right, they
all do this. And I'm not saying otherwise, but like every news organization was like, "Oh, look at him go down this ramp," and it's like, great. Can you talk about how he hasn't shown it?
How he fired everybody for past marijuana use?
No, that was Joe Biden. To be fair, like let's not get things confused.
I thought we were.
That was Joe Biden. But no, so like I don't like Trump as much as the next guy, and I'm not even particularly crazy about Biden, but like when news organizations choose to focus on these stories like, oh, he tripped going up the stairs, or like,
was it really that slow of a work week?
Yeah, exactly.
Was it really?
And it's like, and I don't know. I don't like it. It's like, why would you sensationalize?
Like grasping at straws, but it seems like you're taking the whole fucking box of straws.
Yeah, exactly. You're taking the whole little brown box of straws and pouring it on the counter. Like, hey, look at this stupid. Like, it's the literal. It's the literal definition of making a mountain out of a molehill. But anyway, you were saying.
Yeah, but the reason why I brought this up is because some of the memes that I've seen because of this have been fucking amazing. Not because like, I've seen a few fucked up ones, like there was a life alert one, but there was really fun. There's a really funny one. I'll send it to you, where it was like Joe Biden on a skateboard and he was grinding down the rails of that ramp. I have it saved on my phone. I'll send it to you one of these days.
And like that's the thing. It is funny to meme these type of things because the news chooses to focus on them. It's just I don't know. I think like it's not the responsibility. Like people like I don't have a problem with people posting memes about it on Twitter or whatever or Reddit. Because it's not the people's responsibility to like do accurate reporting, right?
Yeah, no,
or like, not even accurate reporting so much as like, come on, like everybody who's not an idiot can see what you're all doing, right? Like report the actual news. Like talk about like the press conference, talk about the other stuff.
There's like some insurrections going on right now across the sea. Like there's some real shit going on. It's like old man falls downstairs.
You know, I am so not going to talk about it this episode, but like we've had all these mass shootings and like all this other important stuff, and like what do we choose to focus on? Like, oh, he messed up some stairs. Anyway, that's the end of the conversation.
That's the end of the conversation right there.
Yeah, but anyway,
so we have a bit of a show for you guys. We're going to talk about a few things. We have just watched the...
Hang on,
I almost said what we call him by accident. We have me and this guy, we saw the Zach Snyder cut of Justice League last night, so we're going to talk about that.
The Snyder cut of Justice League. That movie,
the Dan Schneider
where the Batman hangs out with the Flash and the Iron Man and the Captain Marvel.
They did kind of do like an Iron Man sort of thing because he has like that helmet thing that goes.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, I'm not sure if that was intentional, but there is the scene where Cyborg a couple of times actually in the movie.
Yeah,
where he suits up and he does and it almost the CGI almost mimics the Iron Man thing where it goes over his face.
Yeah. Although he kind of looks like Deadshot a little bit, but we're gonna talk about that. Patrick's favorite topic in all of the land is his favorite company in the whole wide world.
We gotta briefly talk about my favorite buddy company, Blizzard. But I, God, even talking about like my body knew I was talking. My body knew I was talking about it, and like I got a frog in my throat. It was like,
his favorite company, Blizzard. Who I guess their new motto is, "We're Blizzard. We're going to leave you out in the cold."
That's right. Hey, there you go. But yeah, I promise I will not go on a fucking bender about it because it's kind of just more of the same news. But like, there's a layer of spice on this one though. I promise. I promise. So then after that, we're going to talk about there's a story going on with this very platform that we're streaming on right now. Discord. There is a
Discord.
Discord is putting itself out there on the marketplace and potentially is going to be bought up by Microsoft. So we'll talk about that very briefly.
For an insane amount of money.
For $10 billion. And then probably after we do our review of the Snyder Cut, we have a new DC trailer for the new Suicide Squad. So, by the way, like, I hate the title of this movie. I'm sure it's James Gunn, so I'm sure the movie's gonna be fine. But so the movie is not called.
Isn't it just the Suicide
Yeah.
Squad?
So it's not called Suicide
like
Squad
Fast and
2.
Furious and the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, or Too Fast, Too Furious.
Too Fast, Tokyo Drift.
But no, so yeah, the new the new movie that has a trailer is called The Suicide Squad, not to confuse it with that other one.
All right.
And then to wrap up the show, we have a discussion question, and then I found a fun activity for us to do. It's a list of never have I ever questions. There's a lot of them, so we probably won't do all of them, but like I figure we
do a few.
We go through some of them. It could be fun.
It'll be a fun little kid
I liked
the end of this episode.
I liked when we did those would you rather questions. I thought those were fun.
Oh, those were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I would love to do those again.
All right, so let's go right out the gate with Justice League, the Snyder Cut.
Just Us League, the Dan Snyder Cut.
The Just Us League, that's right. Do you want to start off, or should I start off?
I'll start off.
Very well.
So, we heard people have been memeing this shit for years and years and years and years, and it's like, oh, I do see.
Release the Snyder Cut.
Release the Snyder Cut, yeah. We would not hear about that for like, what's it been, like 3 years, 2 years?
When did Suicide Squad? When did Justice League the first come out?
It was
2018?
either 2017 or 2018.
Let me double check while you talk.
But yeah, so one thing that me and this guy like to do is like we like to check out like the cultural zeitgeist movies of the year. And since now that the movie's out on HBO Max, it would give me an excuse to actually get an HBO Max account.
It was it was 2017.
It was 2017. So 4 years ago.
Yeah, 4 years ago, this boy.
Oof. And to be fair, like I don't blame Zack Snyder at all for leaving the project when he did, because he went through a very horrible tragedy. Like nobody should have expected him to work.
His daughter died?
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yes,
unfortunately, so obviously he had to leave the production to go deal with that.
Yeah.
Because
nobody should have blamed him for that.
Right. And so obviously he had to walk off the project.
Yeah, and it was taken over by Joss Whedon.
Which, okay, we know so much about Joss now, but back in the day, I remember when Joss was at the height of his Whedonness, and I remember when they made this announcement that the entire internet, I think even myself included, everybody
really excited.
Everybody went like, "Oh yeah, let's do it! This is amazing."
Joss Whedon, back in the day, like especially like after like even during not Endgame, like the first Avengers movie, was almost like internet like nerd royalty.
He could do no wrong.
And
that led to some problems.
It turns out that led to some problems. And then it turns out that he's actually a very terrible person. Although, man.
Oh, by the way, I didn't really get to follow up on the whole Joss Whedon thing. I know that he was in hot water for stuff he did on the set of Justice League and on the set of a couple different Marvel movies. Can you kind of fill in the gaps? What happened? Do like a 20-second version.
20-second version? Okay, so I'm gonna say allegedly because it's still kind of up in the air, but apparently he was caught. It was like a lot of sexual harassment behind the scenes. He cheated on his wife. Yeah, he was just very like controlling and like very taskmastery. So
I heard that he was compared to Kubrick on set, which is not a good thing. Which is not a good thing.
So for anybody who didn't know about Stanley Kubrick, one of the most influential directors of all time.
The Shining.
Shining, Full Metal Jacket, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Clockwork Orange,
just some Bush League films.
Just some Bush League films.
I'm just kidding.
Jesus Christ. But anyway, it's like, oh wow. One of the things that kind of made him infamous is that he would basically torture his staff and crew.
Right.
In order to get he was like the textbook definition of a perfectionist. I think he made
the story that
Jack Nicholson. I think he made Jack Nicholson do a take like
No.
150 times.
You're getting your wires crossed. It was the lead actress whose name I forget at the moment. In The Shining.
Shelley Duvall.
Shelley Duvall. Thank you. So according to rumor, Kubrick made Shelley Duvall do this do one scene like 150 something times, like in a single day. And apparently she broke down in she eventually got so upset and so frustrated that she broke down in tears on set, and and Kubrick was like, "Oh, now you're crying," and like,
"Oh, now you can cry on command." That's just why he's so mean to me.
Yeah. So here's the thing. We talked about this.
I think he tortured the fuck out of Nicholson too.
Well,
I heard some.
Okay, I don't know about that story. The one that I know is about Shelley Duvall and how she broke down on set.
He pretty much tortured that whole.
Oh, by the way, by that same token, did you know that on the set of The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy, her actress, there was like she wasn't even being filmed. Like she was on set, but like they were filming a scene without her, right? And so so she was just kind of standing by the director. Julie Garland, I think her name is.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And so she was watching this other scene being filmed, and so like, listen, if you've watched outtakes, you know that like actors will like mess up lines, and everybody on the set will crack up, right? And it's like, okay, all right, guys, next take. Like, they'll just kind of move. They'll just kind of move past.
They'll just like. To live or not to fucking
shit. And then
I'm so sorry. That guy's making me laugh in the background. Let's do it again.
And then the key grip will laugh, and then the director will laugh, and everybody will move on. So like apparently, according to legend, the actress who played Dorothy was standing next to the director, and they were filming some other scene without her, and the actors like flubbed the scene. They're like, ah, shoot. And so Judy Garland started laughing, like, haha, that's funny. And apparently the director got so mad that he got up and just like slapped her in the face and was like, shut the hell up. And everybody on set was like horrified because they're like, oh my God, dude, what are you? Oh my God.
Dude, he just gave her the 5-finger, like, realignment.
It was
God, that's terrible.
It was the 30s, so like
it was the
30s, so I'm sure that everybody was like, oh, it's fine, whatever. But yeah, anyway, going back to Justice League. Sorry.
Good thing he didn't use his right hand.
You know, Jesus fucking God, people in Hollywood be whack. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, well, they're still pretty whack today, but yeah, going back to Joss Whedon. So he took over the project.
Yeah.
Finished the project?
Okay, okay. So I'm not trying to say that to be fair to Joss Whedon though. And listen, we saw this with the new Star Wars movies. It is a very difficult by the way, so we saw this with the Hobbit movies, and we saw this with the new Star Wars trilogy. That when you have a director for years and they do and they lay out the groundwork for post-production, props, costumes, screenplay, like when they do like, so, you know, people think that like filmmaking just happens. Like, no, every film that you enjoy, like every like Hobbit, every Avengers, every Justice League, every big budget movie,
thousands of people working behind the scenes.
Yeah, not only that, but not only that, but it takes years of prep work. So it's very difficult to just have an entire several years of prep work just dropped into your lap and like a bunch of footage and be like, all right, make it work, jerk. So I'm not saying that justifies how terrible the first Justice League is, but I am saying that it's much more difficult than you might imagine to just have all this stuff put on your plate and be like, make it work.
Yeah. That's like saying that you put a puzzle together like 70% of the way through, and then the first puzzle master dies, and it's like, second guy comes in, doesn't like puzzles at all, saying like, okay, finish this 2,000-piece puzzle. It's like, what?
Yeah, exactly. And not only that, not only that, some of the pieces are missing or like they're being hidden from you.
Yeah. And it's just like, figure it out, stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, shit.
But yeah, so it ended up being a massive cluster F, and as a result, and that shows in the finished product.
It really does. Like that, it was like less than 2 hours long. uh, there was there were a lot of jokes in there, and the jokes didn't work at all.
Yeah, Joss
me,
wanted to kind of copy paste his Marvel style onto the DC cinematic universe, and and like, listen, you can talk
Can I
about.
admit something to you?
Yeah, of course.
About Joss Whedon's work?
Sure.
I'm not really a fan.
You know, here's the thing about pretty much all of the.
Although I've never seen Buffy, but I tried watching Firefly. I was bored to tears.
Firefly is one of the most overrated pieces of media ever created on this planet. I'm laying it out here now. I'm sorry. Listen, there's tons of things that I love that are popular. I love the movie Citizen Kane. I love like Futurama. I love lots of popular stuff. So this is not me saying popular thing bad. I'm telling you objectively, as somebody who enjoys fantasy, science fiction, and like Star Trek, The Outer Limits, Twilight Zone, all that stuff. Firefly is kind of shit. It's kind of shit. I'm sorry. It's kind of bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Like, I haven't seen Buffy, but apparently Buffy is pretty good.
Apparently Buffy is like the generational icon for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And what else did he do? He did that show Dollhouse, which I never saw.
Oh yeah.
I liked Avengers.
Well, like here's the thing about Joss Whedon, right? When it comes to like and a bunch of these Marvel movies, so he and J.J. Abrams, because they're kind of the same director, they just kind of have different ballparks. Joss Whedon is the master of making the 5 out of 10 movie, right? And what I mean by that is a movie that as you're watching it, you're saying to yourself, "This is pretty good." And then you get to the finale of the movie and you're like, okay, that was pretty good. And then like 2 days later, you try to think about like, oh, hey, I recently saw, I recently saw Avengers. What do I think about it? And you feel nothing. Like at the moment, like he makes really shiny candy films where like,
But they just have no nutrients whatsoever.
It's not that they have no nutrients. Like, the bones for decent filmmaking is there. He's just very good at making stuff that has a lot of mass appeal. But the problem is when you make something with mass appeal, you end up with something like the Minions, right? Where like you're trying to hit the lowest common denominator. But it's like I would say that like Joss Whedon does a better job than Illumination when it comes to this. And that's not even me trying to say, oh, all of Joss Whedon's movies are bad. No, because I don't think so. You look, but are a lot of his movies like kind of forgettable? Are a lot of them like mediocre at best? Oh, you bet your ass.
I think the only one I've seen is Avengers 1 and 2, and that's really about it. Like,
I think the first Avengers is pretty good.
I haven't seen Serenity. I haven't seen what's another one that. Fuck, I can't remember. But shows you. But yeah, like it's one of those things where like, but like just trying to finish that project, like especially like I'm sure Warner Brothers had like a huge amount of money and time put into it. It's like we got to get this out.
The thing with the thing with Joss Whedon is like the first phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and like the first major phase. I'm counting everything from Iron Man 1 to Avengers Endgame, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're all if nothing else, all of the movies in that universe are consistent, right? Yeah. None of them are objectively awful except for like Thor: The Dark World, which I don't think he directed.
No, he did.
Like every one of them.
The last one that he did was Age of Ultron.
Right. Which I thought was like the weakest of the Avengers movies by a country mile.
It's one of those things where like looking back on it, it's not that bad.
It's pretty mediocre.
It's mediocre, but it makes watching WandaVision made me appreciate that movie a lot more. But that's more like retroactively fixing the movie.
I was gonna say my take on that, and by the way, I have not seen WandaVision. My take on that though is that I think the director of WandaVision kind of picked up the broken pieces of Age of Ultron
and put them back
and
together,
then hammered them into something usable and salvageable.
Yeah.
So
WandaVision was great.
I think that the more credit is deserved. Wow, what are words? I think that the director of WandaVision deserves the credit on that one more than Joss. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
I know, but still, I think what's that old saying that sometimes people work better with certain limitations than without any. You know, sometimes you have to reel some stuff.
Credit to Joss, like so he is really good at. Again, he did this entire film and like, by the way, the event, like the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe is kind of it's honestly a miracle that it happened. I think we take it for granted nowadays, but you got to keep in mind. Like, so back in the day, back in the early 2000s.
Iron Man. Yeah, go ahead.
Back in the early 2000s, like we take it for granted today. There's so many superhero movies and TV shows and streaming shows and all this different stuff and miniseries and all this stuff. But back in the day, superheroes were kind of a dying genre because the 90s was really had some really bad box office turnouts.
On that fucking edge.
Well, yeah, not only that, but like not only
like Blade and the Punisher.
You can cut yourself on Blade for sure.
Yeah.
The thing is like not only were the movies like not only were the movies dated as soon as they hit the ground running, but they failed at the box office too, and more so. Like, here's the thing about movie making and Hollywood, right? There's a reason that there's like a new Minions movie every single year, right? And it's not because they're good movies; it's because they make a crap ton of money for Illumination. So bad 90s style superhero movies would have been.
You could just pump those movies out because they pretty much just reuse the 3D assets.
Yeah, like the budget for every Illumination movie is like $3 million, which like sounds like a lot of money, but when you're making a film, it's like that's nothing.
Especially an animated film.
But yeah,
like it's not that much money at all.
In the 90s, if 90s terrible superhero movies were profitable, they would have been made into the 2000s, but that just didn't happen. We had stuff like Catwoman and we had stuff like The Punisher and Blade, which were like mixed successes, but not the big box office hits.
The first Daredevil movie.
Yeah, exactly. Oof. And so credit to Joss and credit to everybody at Disney and Marvel Studios. They actually had to prove that, hey, comic book movies are financially viable. And like nowadays, that's like ludicrous to think about. But back then, directors and executives looked at superhero movies and they said, superhero movies? No, that's going to burn money.
Yeah, it's like back in like the early or the late 90s and stuff like that when like everybody was betting against Amazon. Mm-hmm. Like everybody's saying, like one of the greatest flops in the stock market history, Jeff Bezos and Amazon. And,
in one of the really early episodes of Futurama, there's a joke where Hermes' son gets some stock, or no, he gets some money, and Hermes is like, "What are you gonna spend it on, my boy?" And his son is like, "I'm gonna invest my 13 cents into Amazon.com stock." And Hermes is like, "A risk taker. I like it." Oh boy, that joke aged horribly.
Or good. It aged well for Hermes' son, that's for damn sure.
That's right.
Oh man. It's really funny because I experienced another version of The Simpsons did it. It's when Homer is investing in Animotion Incorporated.
Oh yeah.
And he has that whole dream sequence with King Kong and the monkeys. And I was like, is there a psychic among the Simpsons writers?
Oh, so like, do you know about the 9/11 conspiracy involving the Simpsons?
No.
Okay, so by the way, this is a dumb conspiracy that is not true, but here it is. According to it's one of those dumb creepypasta type things. So like, grain of salt.
Yeah.
Okay, so in one of the really,
grain of salt, more like a dry lake bed of salt.
The early opening for the Simpsons, they had that same opening for like several years. So the part in the opening where Marge is at the grocery store and she's at the register and there's like the person who's you've heard of this. Yeah, I guarantee you've heard of this. Like, so when the person at the counter scans one of her items, the cash register has a digital display, and on the digital display it says 9/11. Oh, the Simpsons predicted 9/11. Oh,
because the words not. 9/11 have never shown up anywhere else aside from 9/11.
Dude, okay, so
That's what I was talking about earlier. That's
an-
like you're not just grasping at straws; you're stealing the whole box of straws.
So there was during the era of QAnon when they were first coming out as an organization, Adam Sandler had released this like really dumb straight to Netflix movie. It's some dumb comedy, but like there's a character in the movie who's like a rich millionaire called Mr. Quaid, and so a lot of the movie takes place in the guy's house, and so he has pillows that have the letter Q on them. So throughout the movie, like people were taking screenshots of this movie, and it's like you can clearly see here that like the letter Q is in frame in this movie. Hollywood is trying to send messages through Adam Sandler movies to talk about QAnon.
Now you see here.
Oh fuck.
These QAnon shamans, they're connecting with the elves in the other dimension.
We gotta get back to Justice League. We gotta get back to Justice League.
You see here, the Wayne Foundation is secretly Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Alex. For the sake, let's just say for the sake of argument that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Now this is yet again another example
I'm telling you that this billionaire dresses up like a bat.
The mainstream liberal media.
Not giving these criminals the due process they deserve.
Listen to me.
This is America.
Listen to me, you liberal snowflake. This is clearly the liberal media. I can't even. This is so. Ben versus Alex.
Ben versus Alex. Oh god.
The final showdown.
So,
Justice League, please. Justice League, please. Talk about Justice League.
Just throw in Jordan Peterson.
Please go back to Justice League.
It's the triumvirate of shit.
Oh god.
Okay. So should we just finally
Joe
talk
Rogan
about
here?
Justice?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Oh god damn it.
Buy my protein supplement.
Here are these kettlebells that have apes on them.
Yes.
Oh, those are pretty sweet though. All right.
Justice League. Yeah.
So we watched all of it. We were debating whether we were going to the Snyder Cut. We were debating whether to actually like split up the movie, like do 2 hours one week, 2 hours another week. But we decided, you know what? Fuck it.
We're just gonna
muscle. We're just gonna muscle our way through. And okay, first and foremost, I'm gonna say I was very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, me too. Actually,
on how much I actually liked the movie. I liked it quite a bit.
Same.
I was shocked. I was expecting just to go in, tear it to fucking pieces, and like, hey, the Snyder Cut, the Dan Schneider Cut. Let's cut and tear into it.
I posted about this on Twitter already, but I sort of hated the idea. I was geared to hate this movie right out of the gate, not because of the movie itself, but because of why the movie exists in the first place.
Just people bitching.
Basically, this movie got willed into existence because people on Twitter basically started that release the Snyder Cut hashtag, and they thought it was some big conspiracy by Warner Brothers.
We were seeing this at political rallies too. We saw them at it's like there's always some trolls in the background that just hold up silly signs and stuff like that. But almost every single like political rally for like Clinton or whatever, actually wouldn't have been for Clinton, but like for other like big protests,
it would have been for like Trump or something.
It would have been for like Trump or something. But they would always have one guy that says "Release the Snyder Cut," and it was.
But there was okay. Now when I talk about these people, these were a small contingent of people. And I'm not here to say otherwise, but like there was a sizable amount of people who were
quite a lot of people
who were like these conspiracy theorists who were like, you know, the reason that like Zack Snyder made a cut of the movie and then Joss Whedon made it bad on purpose to prop up the popularity of the Marvel Cinematic Universe so people would hate DC. Like, wow, that's a lot of trouble.
That doesn't make any sense.
So you're saying
Whedon?
So you're saying that Joss Whedon knew that Zack Snyder was going to have a family emergency and be forced off his project. And like,
now you see here,
what?
I believe that Joss Whedon actually killed
Alex, no.
Zack Snyder. He killed him in Sandy Hook.
Oh my god, I hate Alex Jones so much. I'm turning red because I hate him so much.
How do you think I feel? It hurts my soul. It hurts my voice doing it.
But yeah, so
Oh,
the point
God.
being, I was geared up to hate this movie from the get-go because
So was
basically
I.
corporations basically took advantage of a shitty hashtag. Like Warner Brothers, it took advantage of a shitty hashtag to make a quick buck off of this movie.
Yeah.
So that's one side of it. But I genuinely do think that now this is I don't think he's ever said so in an interview, but like this is my opinion. I think Zach looked at the movie that Joss made, and like during interviews he was like, "Oh yeah, it was fine, it was great, I loved it." But on the inside he's like, "That is not my movie. That is not my movie."
We ton.
Yeah. So I was
I think after
you and I saw this movie in the theater back in the year 2017. You and I saw it, and at the time I hated this movie. I
also hated it.
Let me back up. I didn't hate the movie. I just thought that I thought the movie was really bland and boring, and I thought that it was. I thought it was kind of more of the same, like Batman v Superman type crap, where it's just like, oh, here's this dark, gritty atmosphere.
What Justice League did for me, it just kind of cemented how much I really kind of don't like Joss Whedon as a director and writer, because it kind of took all the Whedonisms that I don't like, and they put it, they copy and paste it, but they cranked up the dial in Justice League. There was like just a lot of jokes that are not funny.
You can dislike Zack Snyder all you want in terms of his film aesthetic. I definitely have a few bones to pick with him, but here's the thing. At the very least, you can't say that he was not consistent over the course of the DCEU in terms of like setting a tone. Well, nowadays it's all over the place, but back when the timeline was only like Wonder Woman, Batman v Superman, Man of Steel, those movies are all tonally consistent. And so you have a guy like, and that could be a good thing or a bad thing.
Wonder Woman was directed by Patty Jenkins,
but like they were all kind of
like the same
in the same umbrella, is what I'm saying. But like what I'm trying to say is that you can argue whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing if they're all tonally the same. I definitely had issues with how down and bleak some of them were, but to go from that to the Justice League movie, where like the Flash every 10 seconds is like I'll have what she's having. It's like it's tonal whiplash on a tsunami level.
Yeah, like one thing that I really did not like in the Whedon cut was like it was like right before they were gonna go off to like the nuclear waste and fight the bad guy and stuff like that, and like Aquaman's kind of having this weird monologue about like how Wonder Woman's very hot. But it turns out that like he's sitting on the lasso of truth or something like that. It's like he's like trying to give a speech, but then it just kind of goes from like, come on guys, we could do this, just like you're very hot, and then it just reveals that it's being set
transparently Joss Whedon. That is a transparently Joss Whedon type scene.
It really is. Oh God, what's another?
But I only saw the movie one time, and so I looked at the movie and I'm like, I thought it was mediocre. Like I didn't think it was like bad. I think that there were certain people who really tried to. There were like snake oil salesmen on Twitter who were trying to sell this movie as like liquid gold when it was actually like donkey urine. Like
Yeah. And then there's like the really questionable. Like I'm sure this is just because like everything got thrown under the bus. But there was that whole like weird like thing with Henry Cavill and like CGI mustache and the lips and just
talk about a humiliating thing to put in your movie. I think
it kind of looks like he has like a weird like.
I think that one scene alone, completely.
It was at the beginning of the movie.
That one scene alone completely defanged the movie on social media.
Yeah. It was like they really did fix a lot of stuff with this.
Here's the thing about the Snyder cut, though. And I will say, for me, long story short, for me, the Snyder cut took a movie that I had no business going into wanting to enjoy, and in fact, I was very much biased to not like it, for all the reasons I just told you. And it made me go from, oh God, I can't believe I have to watch 4 hours of this, to being like, oh, that was actually pretty good.
That was pretty good.
I thought that
they could have trimmed it a little bit.
Here's the thing about the Snyder cut, right? It feels like 4 episodes of like a TV miniseries cobbled together into a movie, and so
well, it's like one thing that I didn't realize that they were gonna do is they're gonna actually split up the movie in different parts, like a Monty Python movie.
Yeah. So you could get to parts 3 and 4 or whatever, just be like, I've had enough for tonight.
Yeah. There's like 7 parts or something like that, so you could easily just like pause it and have like.
That is kind of, if I was to say that if the Snyder Cut had a flaw, it would be the fact that, yes, it is 4 hours, and you have to deal with that fact. You can either split it up, or you can watch the whole thing in one go. Honestly, we watched it, and I thought I was gonna get like really bad burnout. I
was fine.
I think at the very end, when they showed the dream sequence stuff, I was getting a little, like, just a tiny bit burned out.
Just a tiny
But honestly,
bit.
the only thing, for me, this was actually easier to watch than something like The Irishman, which is actually a shorter movie. Because at the end of The Irishman,
you're so drained. You're so drained after The Irishman.
Yeah, The Irishman, like, I felt like during the last 30 minutes of The Irishman, I kept looking at my phone, like, how much longer is this? Like, it is that, which is a shame, because the very end of that movie is very good, but it just getting to that point, just it drains you. It drains you.
Well, it's like they really did fix up the pacing. Like, despite being a 4-hour movie, it actually has pretty decent pacing, all things considered.
Yeah, they what I like about it is they took the garbage parts out of, kind of the unnecessary garbage parts out of the first out of the first cut, and they're just like, no, let's just move. Let's keep the story moving. Let's keep it moving. Let's go.
The characters are like rarely ever just like sitting around like cracking jokes or something like that. They're just like, okay, we got to go do the mission. We'll talk about it for like maybe a few seconds, and then we'll go through with it. And then it's just action.
I think also the dialogue got fine tuned. I think they cut out a lot of like the Joss Whedonisms, I'm going to call them.
They cut out almost all the Joss Whedon. Like, there's
the character of the Flash got completely salvaged.
He really did.
He went from being the most annoying character in that franchise to being like, oh yeah, the Flash, all right, I like the Flash.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me a lot of like the Justice League Unlimited Flash, where it's just like, like he can be serious, but he's not just cracking quips for like the entire length of the movie.
In the first,
he's a bit quirky, he's a bit weird.
In
but
the first movie, dude, in the first movie, like every time every time he's in the same room,
every 5 seconds,
every time he's in the room with Wonder Woman, he's like, wooga. It's like,
and there's like,
okay,
one scene
we get it.
Like one, he's horny on Maine. Yeah, like, but one of the things that I really did like about this movie it was really weird because in the Whedon cut, it was like everything was kind of made out to be a joke. But one thing I really liked about the Snyder cut is everything it's a lot more serious without it being like dark and brooding.
All the characters get better backstories. They
do.
So the upside to having a 4-hour runtime is that Zach has more time to flesh out character backgrounds, which is a huge plus in this movie.
And plus you could easily watch this and then watch the other stuff really easily.
I actually liked a lot. They added more backstory to the mother boxes, and they showed more of like the old
like Apocalypse
DC,
and stuff.
They showed the old DC cinematic, like they showed the old DC world, and they showed like the Green Lanterns and the old gods and the Atlanteans. They added more stuff. And I think that like that added backstory really helps add gravity to the overall plot and the whole. It makes it turns the mother boxes from these stupid MacGuffin things we have to go get to being like, oh, okay, these things can actually do stuff and they're actually important.
Well, plus they actually give it some importance too, because like Cyborg is all. Dude, they did a complete like Cyborg was barely in the Whedon cut. But like he's now like in the front and center.
And when he was in the Whedon cut,
and he's a great character.
And when Cyborg
thing that really Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was gonna say, and when he was in the Whedon cut, he was like boring and lame.
Yeah, he was boring and lame, but no, they make him into a fully three-dimensional character in this movie. He actually has some agency. They give him stuff to do.
They change his design. Thank God.
I know. He looks so cool.
In the first Justice League, he looks like a jagged, like Michael Bay Transformer. And I know that, like, oh, he's got the mother box or whatever, but like, it's so lame.
Yeah.
What I like about the new Cyborg design is that clearly the CG director was like, all right, let's take this design is too complicated. Let's take a step back and simplify this design. Thank God. Because it was so
all the CGI looks a lot better in this movie.
So busy and so like all over the place. And like, I'm joking, but like he really did look like a Michael Bay Transformer from like the first movie, from like the first Transformer. He just looked like jagged, shiny metal.
Yeah, and they didn't give him anything to do, but no, he ends up like being a major part about saving the day at the end.
By the same token, the CG on Steppenwolf is leaps and bounds better.
It's not as good as the Thanos CGI, but it's close.
Not quite, but it's
not quite. It's like Thanos CGI is like a 9.5 out of 10. This one's like an 8 out of 10. It's really good.
They had a "you should have gone for the head" type moment in this movie, and I was like,
they really did.
And like, I don't know if that was like, and I don't know if that was Zach being tongue in cheek, or if that was him like, yeah, suck it, Whedon.
Suck it, Whedon.
I don't know what that was.
Well, that was the Russo brothers, though. To be fair, that was their handiwork.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, you know, and yeah, to me, the thing is, it's like the thing you got to ask yourself is, one, are you already invested in the DC cinematic universe? And if the answer is yes, are you willing to sit through a 4-hour movie? Those are the two major questions. And if the answer to both of those is yes, you'll probably really enjoy it.
Yeah, and even if you're curious about watching the Snyder Cut, just watch it in parts.
Yeah.
Like watch it part 1, part 2, part 3.
I don't think there is. I think honestly, I think that's how the movie's meant to be watched. I think even Zach kind of knew that, like, the average person is not going to sit and watch 4 hours of this at one time.
You're not crazy guys like us.
Here's the thing. I think Zach was actually smart about this, because you're right. He did parse it out into, like, so every part of the movie is sectioned out into like these title cards, and they say like, oh, part 1, introduction, part 2, you know, gathering the Justice League, part 3, Electric Boogaloo, and yeah, I think Zach kind of like hedged his bets and said, okay, hey, some people will watch this entire thing like a movie, but however,
Somebody's blowing on my phone.
Oh, sure. There are certain people who are into binge watching and streaming that will just watch the entire thing. So
that's true.
I might as well just make 4 TV show episodes and like stitch them together into a movie that can flow as a movie. And I think that's what he. So he kind of
did that with Hateful Eight for Netflix.
Yeah.
They like made that into a miniseries, right?
Here's the thing: I have seen the Netflix miniseries for the Hateful Eight. Okay, dude, I'm someone who's like mildly obsessed with that movie, and they said that it was the definitive cut and they added new footage, bro. I couldn't tell you a single, unless I have seen the Hateful Eight multiple times. Like, I know that movie from top to bottom.
I've only seen it once.
How can you have only seen it once? Anyway, I love you, but
I've only seen a lot of.
No, but I've seen.
There's a few Tarantino movies that I still haven't seen. I still have not seen Jackie Brown.
Gotta get 110th Street.
That's the drawback for doing the fucking Alex Jones. My voice cracks like a teenager.
It's turning the frogs in his throat.
And they're gay.
Oh god, I wasn't gonna say it, but you said it.
Because of the fluoride. No.
Oh god.
Jesus Christ. Alex Jones with the Alex. You're crazy.
But no, Justice League though.
Justice League though.
But no, I think it was smart, because you can. This movie is chopped up in such a way where you can totally watch it as a single movie, and you can watch it as 4 episodes of a TV show.
Yeah.
I think that the stuff they added was pretty good. I kind of, you know what I liked about this movie more so than the first Justice League is that they actually gave Steppenwolf a character.
Right?
He's not just some dumb bad guy. Now it's like, oh, he's got he answers to
He
Darkseid,
actually has,
and
yeah,
Darkseid,
he actually has some motivation and some
and we
like you see him
like at
you
some
see him
point,
why he's so hell bent on getting the mother boxes throughout the whole movie. He wants to go home.
right? He wants to. He's this guy he's this conquering hero, and no amount of bloodshed will satisfy. I'm not sure if if Darkseid is his brother or family or whatever, but like he wants to
I
go.
think it's like I think it's extended family. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
really know
But like
how
he
it
wants to go
works
home,
for
and like you kind of get why he's motivated to do this. He wants to go home, and he wants to be by Darkseid's side.
yeah, he just probably just wants to go the
And
fuck home.
I think that I was worried when they announced that Darkseid was going to be in this movie, because like if you don't know, Darkseid is like the Thanos of the DC universe, right?
He really is. I think they used him pretty well.
Yeah, yeah,
They kind of kept him as like this legend and this figure in the shadows, so to speak, and that's
There's
totally
a
his
scene
MO.
near the end of this.
They showed enough of him.
There's a scene at the end of this movie where Steppenwolf is trying to open a portal to send the mother boxes back to Darkseid, and so Steppenwolf is destroyed by the Justice League and Superman, and they send his body through the portal, and so the Justice League and Darkseid, they lock eyes, and they have this moment that basically is like, this isn't over.
Yeah.
I'll be back. And it's a good moment because it's good setup for a whole franchise. Because here's the thing, if you waste, like, okay, imagine the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the first movie, like the first Avengers movie, like imagine if the Avengers defeated, if they fought and defeated Thanos in like the first movie. That's what I was worried about. I was like, oh no, are you really going to take your ace in the hole and have him be defeated in his first movie appearance?
Yeah, that's oh god.
That would have been bad. That would have been horrible.
That would have been bad. But no, I think they used him. I thought it was going to be a lot more Darkseid, and I'm glad that there was not. They knew when to pull their punches. They put him in like very key strategic places because he's like, they put him like near the beginning, the middle, and the end.
Yeah.
And I thought they did it enough to the point where it's just like, okay, they got the point across. He's not to be fucked with. Like, they're gonna need so many fucking people to take him down.
Also,
but
I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen this movie, but there is a surprise cameo in this movie. And if you're into and if you're into the DC TV shows or comics, it will be someone like instantly recognizable, like, oh my god, like
it's like, he's in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
It's a brief cameo, so he doesn't stick around for the entire movie, but there is a character, and believe me, you'll notice when he shows up.
Yeah,
this isn't
he makes
like
himself perfectly.
This isn't like,
and it's crazy because we've seen this actor before in the previous movies. Like, we saw him in like Batman versus Superman and Man of Steel and stuff like that. It's just like, oh my god,
yeah,
it's this guy. He looked good. I don't want to say who he is, but he actually looked pretty good. They got a really good actor to
play. The
play.
design for this character, and this guy will be in future movies and possibly have his own movie in the future. I
certainly hope so. Oh, that's going to be so much fun.
But yeah,
it's just this whole Snyder Cut thing. It makes it one of the things that the heroes are in the DC universe. They are basically like gods. Almost. They are like they are the allegory for the new Greek pantheon and stuff like that.
They actually one thing that they set that up in the movie too, that like Batman basically says, "Oh, this is the new age of heroes."
The new age of heroes, yeah. But one of the things that like it's okay when it's done really well, but it kind of grates on me a little bit how it's like it turns a superhero movie from like a story of heroes fighting the great evil into like a weird stand-up comedy routine where like they're just cracking jokes and like pop culture references. No, it just kind of makes it very straightforward and genuine. The movie's more genuine.
And like I don't think that you have to have a movie that's like 100% serious. I like a movie to have a small amount of levity. Let's have a little levity, but like let's not have these guys like let's not have Barry Allen.
Like, not every superhero movie needs to be Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, exactly. especially, yeah, know your lane. DC is compared to Marvel, I think DC is like the slightly darker comic universe. And by the
Hmm.
way, like that's not a bad thing. I think that's fine. But yeah, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is kind of bright and colorful and optimistic, and like serious stuff does happen in it. But like you okay, you look at a character, like let's just compare two characters for a minute, okay? You got Spider-Man and you got Batman, who are like the icons of their respective franchises, right?
Hmm.
Batman is like this embodiment of brooding and like self-justice and like the gray area of morality, and Spider-Man is he's a boy from the Bronx, and he's like he's web swinging, and he's trying to get a girlfriend, he's trying to get married. It's like I love being Spider-Man, except for when he does.
Basically, yeah. Well, it's like it's almost like you could do. Well, that's the thing that if a good writer can do it, like you can make something like Batman, like not super dark, like you can have like a lot of levity, like in Batman the Animated Series or the Justice League, but you can make it dark. Same thing with Spider-Man. You
By the
can
way,
do stuff.
so an example of what I'm talking about, I'm going to talk about two movies for a second, right? Okay, so you know how people don't like, so you know how I talked about how Batman is like a dark, brooding, serious character in a dark universe? You have a character, you have a movie like the Joel Schumacher Batman, right? People didn't like that movie because it was so goofy and it was so over the top and ridiculous. So the inverse of that is the oh god, what is the Andrew Garfield trilogy called? They're like the Amazing Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, the Mark Webb of Earth.
The Amazing, yeah, the Mark Webb. By the way, I'm never gonna get over how stupid that guy's name is. You get it? He's Mark Webb. He directs Spider-Man. Anyway, I hate the
it's so on the nose.
So
it's going into your soul.
so we have a local anchorman who goes on TV on the Weather Channel and talks about the weather, and his name is Dallas Raines.
Dallas Ray.
And I'm not making that his real legal name is Dallas Raines.
As a person that lives in the same state and roughly close to you, yes.
You've heard of Dallas Raines. Okay, good.
Of course I've heard of Dallas Raines.
Okay.
Who the hell in California doesn't know about Dallas Raines?
I thought that he was like a minor celebrity. I didn't think that he was like so famous. I thought it was one of the.
No, it's one of those things where like his name just kind of it's almost like a local meme.
Oh, okay,
almost.
Yeah.
It just kind of transcends the joke.
But no,
so you blowing up my phone.
Yeah, sure. So you have a movie like The Amazing Spider-Man, which is that whole franchise is way too dark for Spider-Man. They try to make it like they try to make it way too gritty and grim. And you look at those movies, and like some people like The Amazing Spider-Man and some people like the Joel Schumacher Batman, but like you get what I'm saying. It's kind of a clash of these two identities that they're known for. You have a serious character trying to be goofy, and you have a silly character trying to be serious, and like there's a tonal whiplash. So tonal consistency is important, and if Nick and I talk about movies more often, you'll probably hear me say the exact same thing over and over and over again. And that is like, I hate movies that are tonally inconsistent. I hate a movie that starts out as a comedy and then ends up as like a drama. I hate that. Like very few movies, and I'm not saying it's impossible, but very few movies and TV shows can pull that off successfully.
That is a super fine line that you have to go through.
And it's one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to entertainment media. Like you better walk that line like a tightrope artist, or like don't bother. Like if you're making Saving Private Ryan, don't turn it into a comedy in the final act, right? If you're making Scott Pilgrim, don't have a scene where like Scott and Ramona have to go to like an abortion clinic and the movie gets really dark, okay?
But
like no, you see what I'm saying, right? Like
yeah,
stay in your lane. Like
oof.
Just be tonally consistent. Nothing makes me hate a movie or a TV show more than like surprise dark ending, or like surprise comedy ending. So an example of this is American Horror Story.
Yeah.
The first season of American Horror Story. The entire series up until the final episode is this really dark, suburban like drama about this family who moves into a haunted house, and throughout
And then it just
throughout the entire season, it gets progressively darker and darker and darker and darker to the and then you get to the final episode and it turns into the freaking Care Bears.
Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. Everybody gets a happy ending. You get a happy ending.
Everybody,
you get a...
it's like a South Park episode where at the end of 30 minutes, it's like,
You
well,
know
guys,
what? I learned something today.
yeah, it's like it's on that level, but taken at face value.
It's still like dark because, like, spoiler alert, like pretty much the Antichrist gets born, but they just kind of play it off as.
Oh, that's set up for season 7.
I know your favorite
the
season.
best season of American Horror Story.
The best.
God, it sucks so bad. I hate Apocalypse so much. I hate it. I hate it so much. It's so dumb.
Did you hear that they're finally going forward with another American Crime Story season?
Oh yeah, I did hear about this. Yeah,
it's gonna be about the Clinton scandal with Lewinsky. That woman, Miss
Lewinsky. By the way, I saw a couple months ago. I saw American Horror Story, the 1984 or whatever it's called. It's not bad. I liked it. It was pretty good.
Okay.
It had nothing to do. It had nothing to do with like the cinematic universe or whatever.
The cinematic universe. The American Horror Story cinematic universe.
Dude, if you want to piss yourself off, go to the American Horror Story Wikipedia sometime, and there are people who have plotted like stuff that happens in Roanoke.
This character shows up in this one.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's so fucking annoying.
Instead of being like fun,
I hope you like Coven because Coven gets.
Yeah. Okay. If you want to watch American Horror Story Apocalypse, I hope you like Coven, because if you haven't seen Coven, nothing in that season will make sense. Nothing. Not a goddamn thing.
Not a goddamn fucking thing.
And by the way, I hope
that was the first season I watched of American Horror Story.
It's honestly, and that's the weird thing is like they decided to take Apocalypse, which is okay. I won't talk about this forever because we have to move on. But they took by far one of the least popular seasons of American Horror Story, which is like, okay, so if you've ever seen American Horror Story, they're like kind of like each season kind of has a different like story and different characters in it. So like it's not like The Sopranos or The Wire where like you follow the same characters from season to season to season to season. American Horror Story is like, here's a group of characters, here's a situation they find themselves in, horror ensues, and then the next season
it's like kind of like an anthology, sort of.
Well, each season is a different story, so it's kind of an anthology.
Yeah, but then there's like a few recurring characters in there. Like
so there's a couple of like callbacks to other seasons, which I'm fine with. But then
and, like they share a lot of the same actors too. Like
that's
what's her
Lady Gaga is there, and then also
Lady Gaga's in there. Jessica Chastain is in there.
Oh, Kathy, what's her face?
Kathy Bates.
Kathy, it's Kathy Bates. Yeah.
It's Kathy Bates.
And by the way, I like
he's in there too.
I like American Horror Story, but like Apocalypse pisses me. It's so bad. That's the bottom line. It's so bad. I don't want to talk about it. It's bad. It's bad.
Maybe after I catch up on the rest of the series and stuff like that, maybe we'll do like an American Horror Story episode.
Okay, that's short version. Season 1's pretty good. Season 2 is the best one. Season 3 is like kind of mediocre. Season 4 is like it's okay. Season 5 is like pretty good. Season 6 is really good. I liked it a lot. Season 7.
Which one was season 6?
It's called like Roanoke or something.
Oh yeah, that's the one when they're in the woods.
Yeah. That season 7, I think it's something else, and the season 8 is Apocalypse. Apocalypse is so season 7 is the election season. That one's like I have mixed feelings about that one.
I forgot there was an election season.
It's a mixed bag. I like some stuff about it, and I don't like stuff. It's okay. It's like it's okay. And that season 8 is horrendous. And then season 9, which is 1984, is like pretty. It's good. It's good. I liked it.
Okay. Is it sad that I prefer American Crime Story from those guys?
American Crime
more than-
Story is higher quality without a doubt. Yeah, the two
I just
seasons
prefer
of
it,
American. No, it's fine.
like
It's fine.
like the OJ season and like the assassination of Gianni Versace
Well, like
season.
what I like about
That's like some of the best TV I've seen in like years.
it's almost not a good idea to compare the two because they're kind of two different animals.
Yeah, it's like apples and oranges. Like
Right.
they're part of the they're made from the same guys, but like they're totally different.
American Crime.
I'm just saying from those guys, I prefer American Crime Story than
That's
American
fair.
Horror Story. Is that
but
fair?
yeah, I think that's totally valid. I think that's fine. But I do think that it's a little bit folly to directly compare the two because they both kind of have different goals in my opinion. Like American Crime, like American Crime Story, the whole thing with American Crime Story is that they're trying to make as accurate a recreation of real events as humanly possible.
I know. I'm merely just talking about my preference.
Oh, that's
from the
fine.
Murphys.
Because American Horror Story is it kind of runs the gambit.
It is a mixed bag.
It runs the gambit because certain parts of American Horror Story are like horror comedy. And then other parts of American Horror Story are just straight like poop your pants horror.
It's horror.
But anyway, I don't know how we got talking about American Horror Story. Let's move on. Anyway, final thoughts on Justice League.
So
final thoughts on
Justice League. I liked it quite a bit. Watch it in chunks.
Yeah.
And you will have a good time. If you like those characters at all in any semblance whatsoever, you will like this movie. They salvaged the fuck out of this.
Yeah. Final thoughts for me. It took a movie that I used to kind of think was just not very good, and it took a movie that I kind of hated and made me not hate it. I was extremely biased to wanting to hate the movie, and it was actually pretty good. By the way, while I have you here, talking about movie, first of all, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, do all that stuff, but that's actually not what I wanted to talk about. If you follow me on Twitter, I have started doing a thing where I have created a mega thread on my Twitter. And
yeah, I saw that.
I've created a mega thread on Twitter, and for every movie that I'm watching this year, I'm doing a tweet-sized review of that movie. So if you want to see everything that I've seen this year and what I think about them, in a little bite-sized review, you can go check my Twitter out at Dark Knight Cecil. And so it's weird because like you can look up Dark Knights, you can look up at Dark Knight Cecil and you can find me, but you can also type in the Obsidian Man on Twitter and find me. You can find me both ways.
Yeah, it's like me on Twitter. By the way, follow me on Twitter at UnluckyMagician76, or you can just type in my name.
But yeah, and if you're curious for more thoughts on Justice League that I had, you can find that thread and read all about it. Also, while I have you here, read and you read one of my reviews. There's a movie on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, it's really good. It's called I'm Thinking of Ending Things. I don't want to tell you anything about it. Just go see it. It's the best movie I've seen this year.
Really?
It's a movie on Netflix. It's called I'm Thinking About Ending Things. It is unfortunately one of those movies that I can't tell you anything about because anything that I say could potentially give up the ghost.
Okay.
Trust me, don't. It's one of those movies. Don't watch any reviews. Don't watch any trailers. Don't do anything.
Just going completely blind.
Because if you don't, there is a higher than average chance that somebody will ruin the movie for you.
Good to know.
But yeah, moving on.
All right.
Let me go to our Discord.
Well, since we're kind of putting our last foot down on the whole DC stuff, do you want to tackle the Suicide Squad trailer?
Yes, good man. Yes, let's go do that. So let me find it on here. I know I posted it. Where the frick are you?
The frick?
No, I know I posted it. I'm not crazy. He's a genius. Oh, come on. Well, whatever. Anyway, let me cue that up real quick. Let me cue that up on the old there it is. Okay, great. Okay. So, for the sake of the podcast and for the sake of doing this trailer review, so here's what's gonna happen. I have repeatedly gotten random copyright strikes doing trailer reviews for this podcast, and I don't want the channel to get taken down. So here's what we're gonna do, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just get us back on target here. Stay on target.
Almost got it. Almost got it.
Oh wait, hang on. Let me. One more thing, real quick.
But one more thing.
One more thing. There we go. Perfect. All right, great. Sorry. I changed some stuff. I changed some settings in Streamlabs, and I have to get used to it. But anyway, yeah. Okay. So, here we go. We're going to be watching the new trailer for The Suicide Squad with our boy James Gunn. And so, what's gonna happen is
he's gunning for you.
I have to kind of change how we do trailer reveals and trailer reactions. So here's what's going to happen. Every 30, like the YouTube algorithm is really fickle. And if we just let the entire trailer play, it will like 99.9% like pick up on that and be like, copyright. But YouTube has a thing where if you play the video in chunks, it will not be as likely to pick it up. So I'm going to play it not full screen. And so, unfortunately, guys, I don't want to do this. I'm really sorry. But every 30 seconds or so, I'm going to have to pause the trailer. And we'll give our thoughts about the trailer as we go. And I'm sorry.
Yeah. Or like if we have something to...
This will be
like if we have some jokes to say.
This will be the equivalent of stop and go traffic. And I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to have to do it. It's really annoying. But trust me, it's
we
for the...
play by YouTube's rules.
We have to play by YouTube's rules.
The rules are bullshit.
Anyway, are you ready?
I am keyed up at 0.
So I'm going to do a countdown. And so when I say stop, we will stop the trailer, okay?
Got it.
Perfect. All right. So
all right. 3, 2, 1, and ignition, lift off. It's been a while since I've seen a red trailer.
Yeah.
The entire mission for a mental defective dressed as a court jester.
Who's that invisible guy?
Hopefully Harley's still alive.
That guy's just floating a minute.
Colonel, these are dangerous people.
CO2 is clear to go.
Fire. 3, 2.
What are you guys doing?
They just look like they're on vacation.
What?
We're here to save you.
You were gonna save me?
It was a really good
All
plan.
right, stop. Was that John Cena?
Yeah, it's John Cena.
Oh, okay, nice. And then was that I believe I saw Idris Elba also?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, he's in the movie too. Yeah.
All right, ready?
Yep.
All right.
3,
I can go back
2,
inside.
1.
You can still do it.
That's patronizing.
I'm so
Oh, Margot Robbie, you're too good for this world.
I actually didn't think that the Harley Quinn movie was that bad.
No, it looked pretty good.
It was fine. I liked it.
Successfully complete the mission.
I wouldn't say that it was high
Oh,
art.
Michael Rooker. Oh, those Crocs.
Oh my god.
What is that thing?
Yes.
You failed
Yes.
to follow my orders.
It's Rocket Raccoon on meth.
Guess where this is going? Oh wait.
Detonate the explosive device in the base of your skull.
All right, stop.
Oh, God. You see, the vaccine, they're gonna inject it into your spot. Oh wait, I gotta do the voice.
Oh
You see
no.
here, this vaccine, they're putting nanobots into your spine that if you don't follow the leftist agenda, it will explode.
Alex, listen. If you want to come on our show as a guest star, all you have to do is ask. All right, ready?
I'll only do it if I get to debate
Okay,
Ben
fine.
Shapiro.
Okay, yes. That's fine with me. I'm ready for this.
Let's just say, for the sake of argument.
Okay, ready.
Oh God, I'm morphing.
We have to continue the trailer.
Yeah. Look at Michael Rooker. Look
All right,
at that
3,
fucking man.
2, 1.
Oh.
This is the famous
John Rooker.
Suicide Squad.
He was your
there's Captain
father,
Boomerang.
but he ain't your daddy, boy.
They call me Mr. Pin. You know what's really funny? Oh wait, I'll tell. Oh, this King Shark.
Any questions?
Is that Polka Dot Man?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is your hand. Very good.
All right, pause.
Oh, good.
So apparently in the Harley Quinn animated series, the shark guy is actually like a main
King
character.
Shark.
Yeah, King
Yeah,
Shark.
he is.
Is that freaking
You know
Polka
what's
Dot
funny?
Man?
I'm not gonna tell you who voices King Shark in this. I'll tell you after the trailer.
All right.
But you'll never guess in a million years.
I like that there's a Polka Dot Man because he's a joke
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, he was in The Dark Knight. He was really good. He was
All
like
right.
one of the Joker's henchmen.
All right. 3, 2.
2, 1, go.
I hope so. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Idris Elba, I love you.
Here's the deal.
I know.
You failed the mission.
Oh shit!
You die.
It's Peter
Find out
Capaldi.
You give us his false. You die.
Fuck yeah!
We find out you have personalized license plates. You don't.
What? No.
If you
Especially nowadays.
covering your mouth.
Hardly. Although that isn't an open invitation for you to cough without covering your mouth.
Wow, so relevant to the coronavirus times.
I know, right?
Supposed to be decisive. And I've decided that you should eat a big bag of dicks. But this whole beef.
Idris Elba said dicks.
If somebody said
All right,
I'd eat-
I
pause.
know.
Pause. Idris Elba said dicks. That's all I have to say.
I know. I think we accidentally unsynced ourselves.
I'm at-
because
I'm at-
I think
What time are you at? I'm at 2 minutes.
I'm at 2:07, so
Oh,
I'll
okay.
go back to 2 minutes.
Okay. Yes.
I swear, do they have like the Invisible Man? I just can't see this guy. It's just a floating helmet.
Heh. It's like Hagakure from My Hero. You just see her clothes.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right. Ready?
I'm just seeing a floating helmet. Like, who is this guy?
3,
All right,
2,
2,
1.
1, go.
Eat every dick until the beach was clean for liberty, I would say no problemo.
Why would someone put penises all over the beach?
Who knows why madmen do what they do?
Who knows what Matt meant to? That's a great law.
Oh, I love this song.
Yeah.
This is suicide. Well, that's kind of our thing.
Viola Davis, classic.
I know. Always. She's great as Amanda Walker.
Don't you worry, I'm gonna get you out of here alive.
I'm going to get you.
Pause.
Here alive.
Yeah. So in the future,
I love this cast so far.
so in the future, when movie trailers are only like a minute and a half, this method will be way better. But for this like 3-minute trailer, it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's a bit of annoying. Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys, but I gotta do it. Otherwise,
One
YouTube.
thing I will say, it seems like the cast is playing off each other really, really well this time around. They're actually like, they have like some chemistry.
It sounds to me like, yeah, there's actual chemistry between the Suicide Squad this time around, and it's not like Will Smith mugging for the camera. What are we,
What
some
is this,
kind of?
Peter-
What are we,
what-
some kind of
You
Suicide
know,
Squad?
like Phil Jackson, like coach of the Lakers, triangle bitch.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
God.
Was that a line from the movie?
That was an actual line from the movie.
I don't remember. Anyway, let's finish the rest of this. Ready?
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh my god, we've got a freaking kaiju up in there!
Guy-
We got a
Send in the
freaking
gate.
kaiju.
I love the rain.
Hmm.
It's like angels are splooching all over.
Oh, Harley.
Gross. Anyway, let me get our setup back up and running.
So, the guy who voices King Shark, I want you to guess who voices that guy. It's an actor you hold very dear.
Let me get this back up and running. Boop. And then go to boop. All right, perfect.
With
We
a
return.
little- All right. We're back, and hopefully we avoided the algorithms. But yeah,
Hopefully,
I want you to
hopefully.
guess who voices King. I want you to guess who voices King Shark
I don't know.
in this movie.
Tell me.
Sly Stallone.
I don't. Oh man. Oh, that's great. I didn't
I'm
even
just
know.
gonna eat this guy.
Hopefully. Hopefully we're not super out of sync. Okay, perfect. Back. Sorry. For a quarter of a second, we were out of sync. For a second.
Oh.
Oh my
Anyway,
god.
any thoughts? Any feelings?
It looks better than the first one, which is not a tall benchmark, but
I know. I think if anything, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be good. It kind of. I don't know why I'm getting like Tropic Thunder vibes from it for some reason. Like I
Yeah.
don't know if it's like the location and how the actors are interacting with each other in this. But yeah, I'm not saying it's gonna be good as that, but I think it'll be fun.
hey,
Like,
hang on one second.
will-
I'm gonna hang up the call real quick, just because I think, like, you sound like disconnected and kind of broken up, and like I think the chat is desyncing. Give me like 2 seconds, okay?
Okay.
All right. Hopefully. Uh-oh. Okay.
Oh.
Oh, come on. There we go. We're back. Here we go. Back again. You're holding in place. Don't scare me. Come on. Come on. Don't do that to me. Don't do
Sorry.
that to me.
If it makes it.
Don't do that. Don't do that to me,
You just
man.
got
Don't do that
you
to
just
me.
got pranked.
It's
Oh,
filthy
man.
Frank out here getting pranked.
Oh man.
Anyway,
Good on
yeah,
Jody.
yeah. It looks fun, which is like what you need Suicide Squad to be. It's got to be fun.
It seems like the cast is having a ball and a half. They don't seem like they're like this one. They're actually going out and having some fun. The other movie seems like, it's like telling a kid to go do their chores. There's just like, fine, I guess we'll do it. They're bringing that kind of energy.
The first
but no,
movie,
like,
it's like I feel they really wanted Will Smith to just like they basically just told Will Smith, "Hey, carry this movie, bro."
Like Will Smith and Margot Robbie just carry this whole freaking thing. But it
yeah,
seems like they're actually
talking
having a
about
fun
Margot
time.
Robbie for a second. I know people really were kind of dumping on the Harley Quinn movie, and like the title is dumb. I'll grant you that the title is dumb. But I thought it was like, I thought it was fine. I thought like,
Wasn't that the last movie you saw in theaters before the shutdown?
No, that was The Invisible Man. Although recently I did, for the first time, recently I went to the theater and I saw a movie last week.
I was so jealous when you sent me that picture. I'm just like, take me with you.
I went to,
working.
I went and saw a Benedict Cumberbatch movie called The Courier. It's a Cold War era drama, and yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch steals the show. It's very good. I liked it a lot. I honestly, I only went to go see the movie because I was like, oh, I just want to see any movie in the theater.
Just any movie in the theater.
And so they opened up.
I'm gonna wait until I'm fully vaccinated to actually go out and do that.
Oh, that's fair.
How'd they handle social distancing in there? Is
well,
it like you can only every third seat?
Yeah, so I bought my ticket online, and so what they do is they basically like create a perimeter around you, where like every seat that is like 2 seats in front of you, 2 seats behind you, and 2 seats to your right and left can no longer be purchased, unless you're with a party of people that you're comfortable being next to. So like if you have like a party,
we should do that thing while we rent out a private theater.
So there was only about 6 people in this theater. And like everybody had masks, and they had to spray the theater before anybody could go in. So like it was in my opinion, it was pretty low risk. I had a mask on the entire time. I didn't even buy any snacks or anything. I sat there.
I know, but you ate at one of our favorite places to eat that
I
haven't had.
And I did
over
go.
a year.
I did go eat at Santabello's, which is a really good little Italian.
Son of a bitch.
Come on.
Son of a bitch. No, I'm totally kidding. But still, I'm just like, this is just the massive jealousy that I have, because this place, like before any movie, like when we'd hang out there for happy hour, it used to be like one of our favorite places to go, because their happy hour is amazing. Oh man, but I was at work and I was like crushing my phone because I was just so jealous. I was like, you son of a bitch. I want it. I want to go there. I want a meat and cheese plate and a small pizza.
They opened up for the first, and so by the way, I ate outdoors. They have a little patio, so I ate on the patio, and I was by myself. Yeah, it was good. It was a good time. I had a margarita pizza, and I had a piano misto plate, which is like, if you don't know, it's like a little plate with like breads and cheeses and all sorts of spices and good stuff on it.
Did they raise the price, or is it still the same
No,
price?
no. I went there during happy hour, so I ate like a king. I was a baller on a budget, as we like to say.
Hell yeah. Oh, the jealousy.
But no, I just decided I had a free day one day, and I was just like, and honestly, I felt like I was going stir crazy at my house, and so I just decided, like, I'm going to the theater today. It's fine. I checked it. I looked at the movie ahead of. Honestly, that's why I picked the movie that I did. I didn't want to go see something popular because I didn't want the theater to have a bunch of people in it. So I picked this kind of like it was kind of an Oscar bait type movie. But like I did like it though. Benedict Cumberbatch, he's on point. He can do drama.
We can. What the hell was that movie?
In the movie,
that he was in?
He's the main character, and he's this English businessman. And he's hired by the FBI from the US and from the UK to go undercover into Moscow and get information on nuclear weapons. And so at the beginning of the movie, he like doesn't want to do it. He's like, yeah, that's suicidal. Have fun with that. And they basically tell him like, do it for your country. And he's like, fine, for Queen and home, I'll do it.
What do they say for queen and country?
God save the queen.
God save the queen.
My queen.
Hi, buddy. Oh, I guess we have a guest here.
Ladies
now.
and gentlemen,
This is,
guest starring Oliver the cat.
Oh, buddy, what's wrong?
Anyway, Suicide Squad. You know, I like it. I think it'll be good. I'll probably check it out. It's got James Gunn. You know what? Okay, I actually have a stake in watching Suicide Squad because it's the movie that James Gunn decided to do after he got the boot from Disney because alt-right trolls tried to get him off of Twitter. And so to me, it's almost like
middle finger.
And what I love about it is that after Disney basically apologized to James Gunn and was like, "We're sorry. Please direct Guardians of the Galaxy." Dude, this shows you the kind of person that James Gunn is, and I'm here for it. Here's what he said. I'm paraphrasing, but essentially, Disney was like, "Please come back for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We'll do anything." And he's
anything.
like, and he said, like, "Okay, I'll come back, but I'm directing Suicide Squad first."
Oh, he's double dipping.
Yeah.
He's double dipping.
And they basically said, like, "Yeah, I signed contracts. I have no choice. I have to direct Suicide Squad too. So
so you're gonna have to wait.
Sucks to be you,
you're
Disney.
Gonna have to wait for Rocky Raccoon.
Yeah, exactly. So I love the cojones. I love the moxie. I love it all.
I love the sass. The sass
I love it.
is...
I love it. I love it. James Gunn, you are the best. Never change. I love you.
You are what Joss Whedon should be.
Yeah.
Like you don't like. I know you get a lot of credit now for like. I feel like James Gunn has kind of taken the place of Joss Whedon as like this nerd icon director.
Yeah.
Almost.
But yeah, anyway,
boy.
let's move on. Suicide Squad. Okay, so we have a couple of news stories here, and like I said, these will be very brief, and then we'll get into some fun stuff. Never have I ever questions, but yeah. First and foremost, this is the big one. This has been going on for a couple weeks now, so we haven't actually missed the boat on this. And Oliver's like, why can't this show just be about me though?
I know.
The show should just be about me because I am a glorious cat.
He is a glorious cat.
Anyway,
it was his birthday not too long ago.
Happy birthday, small orange chicken.
I know. He is 9 years old now, I think.
All right, so let's talk about Discord, the very platform that we're streaming on right now.
I know. It's about to get bought out by.
Well, okay, allegedly. Let's put those.
Allegedly.
Let's put those allegedlys in there because nobody has no ink has been dried yet on a contract. But the story is that Discord is looking for a buyout because despite the fact that they are one of the most popular communication platforms on the planet, especially for people who play the video games, they actually, according to their like quarterly report, they're actually not making that, like, for a company of their size, they're actually not making that much money or as much money as they would want to be making.
That's really weird because you figured if when coronavirus hit, like people would be using like Zoom and this, like,
well, it's
all
weird.
the time.
It's strange to me because they have like their storefront that they get a cut from, like, you know how they have that game storefront that nobody ever clicks on.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then also they have Discord Nitro, which, like, I know a lot of people who have Discord Nitro, so like they have to be making a little bit of money.
A little bit, but yeah, but like I figure with the coronavirus and everybody doing everything,
I guess
online,
it's not enough to justify the expenses of the company.
That's fair, but still,
so look,
like you
so
figured it'd be a slam dunk.
They're looking for a buyer, and so rumor has it that Microsoft, you know, the guys behind Mixer. Microsoft is looking to buy out Discord and accumulate it into its legacy of apps.
Yeah. Oh my God, what
a
fucking...
A lot of people, myself included, for you could probably already tell from that dig I just gave it, don't like the idea that Microsoft is going to be is potentially going to buy Discord because Discord. Okay, listen, Discord has a lot
they
of.
haven't had a good track record.
Discord, you know, despite its many flaws and despite the fact that like sometimes it like is sort of a pain in the ass to get running and functional, it's a good. It is my favorite of all of the video chatting apps. I love it. I love it way more than Skype. I love it more than Zoom. Although I do want us to try Zoom at some point because the quality of the video is way better. But like that's another story. Yeah, it is because it kind of is both. It's a video chat app, and it's also you can have chat rooms and you can have your own little servers, and I like the sense of community that it creates.
Mhm.
I like the fact that, like, unlike a lot of social media platforms like Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, they have seamless like GIF integration, copy paste integration, just like
And you can actually edit what you post.
yeah, exactly. You can edit what you post. Twitter, come on. It's like 2021. I don't give a shit about like, oh, people should not be able to. Anyway, Twitter. Hey, you want to hear a joke? Twitter. But up. Anyway, so this
Oh yeah, well, I'm
Microsoft.
gonna be digging through your old tweets in 10 years and cancel
Okay.
you with something.
That's fine. I'm sure you can find my hot take on like Thor Ragnarok or whatever.
You're just gonna.
Honestly,
It's like, why is this guy screaming about this show named Ruby? It's all he seems to do.
I didn't bitch about Ruby that much on Twitter. I don't think.
No,
I did.
I'm talking about me.
Oh,
Me
okay.
personally.
Okay.
Why is this guy just talks about Gundam and Ruby all the time?
Got him!
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Honestly, somebody could probably find one of my various like scorched earth tweets about like, hey, you know how the economy and society sucks and we're not doing anything about it? What if we did something about it?
Surely you jest.
That's like every one of my like shitty political tweets in a nutshell. It's like, hey, you know how like all these different institutions are completely shitting the bed and like failing us as a country, and how our government that's supposed to help us and help keep the economy stable and keep everything stable, you know how like repeatedly they're just like completely dummying us on a daily basis and we're just kind of fine with it. Maybe we shouldn't be fine with it anyway, but like that's my Twitter anyway. So the rumored buyout amount is $10 billion for for Discord to buy, or for Microsoft to buy out Discord. But yeah, I'm worried. Yeah, myself and a lot of people are worried that like you have Microsoft, who has a track record of having things like Mixer and Skype, and how they're not terrible.
Been so good with it.
They're not like Skype as it is it terrible, but it's not nearly as popular as it used to be, and there's a very good reason for that. It's
a lot of corporate oversight.
Yeah, there's too much corporate oversight. And so if Discord is purchased, I think we're going to be looking at a Twitter level like purging, where if Microsoft buys Discord, I think certain things are not going to be allowed to be talked about. I think certain servers are going to get shut down.
They're definitely going to get shut down.
Which is like, okay, pros and cons to both of those, right? Like, obviously, if there's some creepy, like
you don't want like some weird.
You don't want the like lolly servers to be up, and like I think that something should be done about like gross stuff like that, and stuff that at least any kind of human trafficking.
Or like the weird hate speech stuff, like because those servers still do exist.
Oh, of course they do. Yeah. Discord is very hands off, and which is a good thing and a bad thing, right? There's pros and cons. They want to be
really boils down to that people are just being shitty.
They want to be kind of. They want to do the whole YouTube thing where they're like, "Oh, you guys, our hands are tied." Anyway.
We're sorry. Oh my god, my hair is just like ridiculous.
That lion's mane up there.
I know it's like finally starting to grow in because I'm doing fuck it, I'll just say it because I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I started doing Rogaine like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and like it's growing in okay. I think it's like the lighting's pretty terrible, but yeah, like I was like it's actually fixing my hairline a little bit, like it, and like I have a pretty bad bald spot right here. You can kind of see it. I'm just gonna lay it all out to bear. I don't want somebody saying like, "Ooh, we use this Rogaine." It's like, yeah, I use Rogaine.
Whatever, man. You're trying to do something for you. You're trying to do something for yourself,
but I know people are like kind of shit turds about that. It's just like, but yeah, I just use it how I use like, do you brush your teeth? Do you use deodorant?
Right.
I use Rogaine to fix certain problems. You have bad breath, brush your fucking teeth. You have really bad.
Oh, is that how that works? I was wondering why people were running away from me all the time.
Have you been brushing your teeth with deodorant again?
Well,
it gets rid of the bad smell, right? Why is your mouth blue?
No, but anyway, yeah, I have mixed feelings about Discord being bought out. Do you have any thoughts?
It's one of those things where like I hope they'll learn their lesson from Mixer and after all that shit, where it's just like, okay, we'll buy you out. and you're gonna deal with your shit. We're just gonna provide the capital, and maybe we'll like get rid of like all the creepy fucking servers.
Yeah, get rid of the bad stuff
like,
that doesn't look
it's
good.
like, oh, this one is spreading hate speech about a certain ethnic group. Like, maybe we should get rid of that.
Maybe we should tone that
shit
down a
like
little.
that. Yeah, we're not fucking Parlor. Like, we got to tone this down.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, we'll wait and see. I hope they learn their lesson because Mixer was a master. What a fuck.
The only person who directly benefited from Mixer was the streamer was Ninja. Yeah. Who
he's like, yeah, he got his paycheck and then
got
he
the hell out.
Wow. He double dipped. He double dipped like James Gunn. He's just like,
you know what's funny about Ninja? By the way, I don't care about Ninja's content at all. I don't like Fortnite at all, but I respect the hustle. But anyway,
I do like the hustle.
So when Mixer was coming up as like a potential rival for Twitch, they approached Ninja, and at that point, Ninja was like already huge, right? So he has he had a manager and like a lawyer and like a team of guys who were not going to let him get dicked over. And so the original so they presented him with a contract that basically said that like, oh hey, as long we'll pay you like we'll pay you $10 million over the course of like a 2-year contract, as long as the company is staying afloat. And so Ninja was like, nah, dog. Here's what's gonna happen.
Pay me up front.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna pay me up front. Otherwise, I'm not doing anything for you. And so they edited I'm not sure what the official term is, but like they changed the contract.
They negotiated the contract.
They like amended the contract, and Mixer was like, okay, you win, Ninja. And so they paid him like I think it was like $10 or $20 million.
It was a lot of money.
They paid him like $10 to $20 million to stream for like for exclusive access for like 2 years or something. Like but here's the thing: Ninja only fulfilled like 4 months of that contract before Mixer went down, and after that,
I think it's actually more than that. I'm gonna look up.
And after that, Ninja walked away and was like, "Thanks for the bag, Mixer. I'm gonna go back to Twitch now." And Twitch was like, "Hey, Ninja, we kept your seat warm for you."
$30 million.
Yeah, it was some obscene amount of money.
Oh my god.
But yeah,
that's insanity.
So basically, Ninja got paid $30 million to work for like 4 months.
For 4 months,
or like half a year. It might be 4 months to about a year, but like
it wasn't a year. That's for sure.
The point being,
so, I'm like perfectly neutral towards Ninja. Like, I don't love him. I don't hate it. I have no strong feelings either way for a Futurama joke. But so I respect the hustle. I respect like he technically fulfilled his end of the bargain.
He made out like a bandit. Like when the company went south, he was like, "Well, that was fun. Goodbye."
Goodbye. It's like, wait, no, come back, and he was gone.
Well, no, okay.
I respect the hustle.
Credit to Ninja. He basically stayed on the ship.
Stuck around.
He stayed on the ship. Basically until he stayed with Mixer until the day that
he milked that fucking cow.
Of course he did. He stayed with. He was under contract to stay with Mixer up until the point where they filed for bankruptcy and said like, "We're out of here." And then after that, he was like, "All right,
I'll go back to Twitch." And then Twitch was just like, "Come back to a
Ninja. We want you to be the new face of Discord."
Oh God.
Anyway, yeah.
We got rid of Dr. Disrespect. We need you back, Ninja.
Yeah, man. So there's a mystery going around about Dr. Disrespect. So
nobody knows.
Yeah, so he got so if you don't know who Dr. Disrespect is, he's this like this Twitch streamer I'm honestly not fond of. He's the type of person that would buy Supreme merchandise unironically. Like that's just kind of who he is. Like that's the kind of content he makes.
Just wear Yeezys everywhere at a funeral.
He's the type of dude who would probably tattoo "No Fear" on his forehead just because.
Oh god.
Like that's the kind of dude Dr. Disrespect is. But like it's a character though. But like so keep that in mind. It's like James Rolfe playing the character.
He's like Doug Walker for Nostalgia Critic playing this fucking caricature.
I actually don't. The weird thing specifically about Doug Walker, and I do not want to get on a bender about Doug friggin' Walker.
We can bitch about that for hours.
I actually think, unlike James Rolfe, who like is aware that he's playing the character of the nerd, I unironically think that like part of the critic's personality is Doug Walker's actual personality that he just says is like a character.
God.
That's my opinion, though.
All right. So,
But anyway, one last news story. Because I can't talk. Were you done talking about Discord?
yeah, it's
right,
too
great.
early. Like nothing's been signed. I hope they do it for good. I hope they learn their lesson from Mixer. That's
Okay.
it.
All right. So I promise. Normally, I would get I would be like the big bad wolf from the Three Little Pigs, and I would huff and puff and blow all your house,
and he'd tear Blizzard down.
and I would tear Blizzard down. But like, I'm so tired at this point, dude. I'm so tired of being. But like, okay, so here's the newest controversy, right? And it's more of the same.
It's the same song and dance.
So similar to what happened last year, Blizzard laid off without any warning. Blizzard laid off 200 employees. So it's about 190, but I'm rounding it up to 200. So there's 190 reported layoffs, but like there's probably more. So I'm gonna say 200. So Blizzard laid off 200 employees, most of them from the esports divisions of their company.
Yeah, they've been like
during a pandemic.
Yeah.
But it's like, so this happened this happened a year or so ago where they laid off like 500 employees. Now credit to Blizzard. Everyone they're laying off right now is getting a very generous like severance package. Comparatively speaking to like they actually they actually gave more than the industry standard because essentially hold on though. They basically said we're gonna give you healthcare and full pay up until for like 7 months or something. Like
that's pretty generous.
They said we'll give you full healthcare till the end of the year, and we'll give you like I think it was like 3 or 4. No, it was like 4 to 5 months paid salary kind of thing.
Okay.
And a $200 Blizzard gift card for the BattleNet shop.
Oh my god.
You know, sometimes the maliciousness is the message. Imagine you work at Blizzard and you've dedicated your entire life to working for this company, and you've stuck with them even through the coronavirus, even after the whole Activision buyout, even after all this stuff, you've stuck with Blizzard.
Shit with China.
Like you've been here for years, right? And Blizzard lays you off, and it's like, hey, buddy, I know you're sad right now, but here's a $10 Spencer's gift card. Like that's the equivalent of like what. How likely would you be after you got fired from Blizzard to want to go and spend more money at the Blizzard shop?
Well, it's like I figured they would already get like free games and or an employee discount anyway. What does it do to buy some WoW skins?
Right, exactly.
Here's a $1,200 gift card. Go buy some Hearthstone packs, please.
Yeah, exactly.
Please?
Yeah, exactly.
Please?
Go buy some Hearthstone packs. We got a new expansion coming out, boyos. Anyway, but then a few days after that, so that's already bad by itself. Firing people during the pandemic. All right, are you trying to focus?
Yeah, it's just my camera I was like in the shadows almost.
What We Do in the Shadows?
Taika
Waititi?
There's a spinoff coming about that.
But
it's like there's the American version and then there's going to be a spinoff.
But so like literally a day after this announcement of layoffs, it was announced that everybody's favorite CEO, Bobby Kotick, Bobby Kotick.
Hey, look, if it smells like a dick and looks like a dick, he's a dick. He's a cockhead. He's a literal cockhead.
They announced that he is going to be getting $200 million as a bonus in stock options for this year. In stock options. And
are you fucking kidding me?
And he justified this by saying, "Oh, this is the highest. This is one of the high. We actually improved our revenue by like 15% up from last year."
Oh my god! Get bent.
So he always does this. He always is like he's always like, let's fire a bunch of people and then gloat about how much money they made us.
I just fucking can't anymore.
And so like, yeah, I'm with you. I'm done being upset about it. I just like, but like when people ask me, why don't
I
you?
feel like Marlon.
Why when people ask me like, why are you? Why do you get so? Why do you get so angry about Blizzard? They're just a company. Like other game companies do this too.
Yeah.
They like other game companies lay off people, and I'm not saying that they don't, but current Activision,
they're rubbing it in people's faces.
That's what it is. It's like, hey, and by the way, I did the math on this. I crunched the math. $200 million would have paid all those people's salaries that got laid off for like 2 years.
Well, no. It's options.
I know, but like
So
$200 million is still $200 million though.
No, but that's the thing though. Options give you the ability to buy more stock, so it's actually way more than 200 million.
Right.
If the contract gets filled.
And it's
so
like,
you should actually be more upset because it's way more than $200 million.
No, I saw people defending this when I talked to I watched a YouTube video about this, and
what is up with people just defending millionaires and billionaires?
Dude, there's this weird, you know what it is, dude? It's that there's a sizable chunk of people, and
it's the trickle down.
Yeah, well, like there are people who have absolute faith in the system, right? And also there are what I refer to as like the 1% bootlickers who think that like, oh, if I participate in capitalism like I'm supposed to, and I'm a good little consumer, maybe one day, maybe one day, I'll be rich and famous like those other guys that I had. Like maybe one day I can be like Elon Musk. I can be like Bill Gates. I can be like Oprah Winfrey. I can be like Ellen DeGeneres. Maybe someday I can be that wealthy if I'm a good little capitalist. And they unironically and they unironically believe this. They're like, the system is working as intended. You're just not working hard enough.
Oh my! It's like I work so.
You're just not working.
If somebody says that to me, I'm gonna fucking slap.
Nick, why don't you just get another 27 jobs, Nick? Like, wow, man, I can't believe it. Like,
how about you suck my dick? How about that?
Wow, I can't believe it. Like. You can't afford a house or health insurance or stuff you want. Why don't you just get like 4 more jobs? How hard is it to do that, right?
Yeah. You're young.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate that argument. It's like you're young, you still have your whole life ahead of you. It's just like, yeah, I'm young, but still, if you're getting fucked over, you're getting fucked over.
And people unironically believe this, right? They're like, this is the system working as intended. And a lot of them have like self-hatred, right? A lot of them are like, oh, I'm only poor. It's not the government's fault or the economy's fault that I'm poor. It's the fact that I'm not working. Like, even though I'm working, even though I'm a single mother working 3 jobs or whatever, and I can barely afford to my rent in my apartment, and I can barely afford to like get my kids into school. Even though I'm doing all this stuff, the only reason that I'm poor is because I'm not working hard enough.
I'm a single mother, and then I'm working 2 jobs, and then my kids needs braces, so it's...
Oh, wow, you can't afford to pay for braces for your kid? You're just not working hard. I hate this argument to a profound level, because it takes all the burden of blame off of the fact that, like, people are just hoarding money, and it's not because like, oh yeah, like they earned the right to hoard all that money. It's because a lot of them are
he really earned that $100 billion that he's worth.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
what?
Yeah, like inherited wealth sure is a hell of a drug, right? Oh well, like Elon Musk is like, the only reason he's rich is because he worked hard for it. He innovated.
You see, my father, he just gave me a very small loan of $1 million.
A very small loan. Just a small little loan.
Very small. Of $1 million.
Not to mention the fact he probably had other money from other shit. But yeah, anyway. Like, yeah. It irritates me, and like I'm not gonna go on a bender about it, but like this is when people ask me like, Patrick, why do you hate Blizzard? What's your beef, man? I'm like, that's it. Like, I'm sorry, like it sucks to see a company that I used to genuinely enjoy make good products. Now they're a shitty, like, here's the thing. If they were a shit company that made good products, I would be a lot, obviously the human cost of that is still tragic, but like I would be a little bit more forgiving. I'd be like, well, yeah, but like business is business, I guess. But no, they're a shitty company who are making shitty watered down products, and I'm being told on a daily basis that like, oh, like you're just old, like you're just you're just nostalgic for old Blizzard. You don't actually want new games. You don't want like innovations. You don't want to actually play these things. You're just a hater. You're a hater.
Oh god.
And so I'm so. And like that's it. Like I just
how many times have we bitched about Blizzard?
I'm sorry.
on the
You know what?
podcast?
Unless something
No. I'm
unless
not telling you to
something
stop. I'm just saying like
unless something like really like big happens from the future, I will not pick up these stories anymore. I'm sorry. Because you know you're right, because you don't deserve for me to come on every week and be like, "Hey, this shit company did this shit things," and it's like, "No," and then you tell me, "No shit, the shit company did shit things." And it's not fair to you. It's not fair to me.
No, it's not. It's not fair to the viewers. But
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying you to stop because, I'm annoyed. I'm so tired that this shit keeps happening.
And again, the other argument that I hear is like, well, other companies do it too. It's not acceptable when they do it either. Like, no. Anyway, that's it. Blizzard is as Blizzard does. I just don't want to support them.
Leaving people out in the cold.
Literally, yeah. Anyway, we got through our news.
All right.
Let me hang on one second. Let me set this up properly. We're gonna do so one of our last episodes we did a little
round of Would You Rather.
Yeah, Would You Rather segment. And so this week I found a big old list of never have I ever questions. I'm gonna put it up on my second monitor here. Let me just fix all this garbaggio. Garbaggio. It's garbaggio.
It's garbaggio.
Hang on. Do that. And then
is that the Italian Oscar the Grouch? Garbaggio.
Where are you? That one. And then that one. All right. So these are supposed to be fun, so don't think about them too hard. Are you ready? So there's a lot of these questions. I don't know. We'll go for as long as we want to go, but there's a lot of questions. We might get through some of them. We might get through only half of them. Who knows? We'll see. Depending on
we'll see.
However long we want to go.
All right.
Just say when. Just tell me when you want to tap out.
All right. Cool.
All right. So if you don't know, never have I ever questions are like basically the question will ask like, have you ever done this thing? And you say yes and no. And depending on how crazy the answer is, you tell the story.
All right.
So okay. First one, and these are from conversationstarters.com. Never have I ever injured myself while trying to impress a girl or boy I was interested in.
No.
I can't think of anything. No, I'm going to say no on that one.
Yeah.
Never have I ever run to save my life. Yes, I have done this.
I don't think I have. No, I never have, to be honest.
So, okay. There were times when I've been by myself, in bad neighborhoods, like at night. So like when I was young, like, oh God, I was so stupid when I was younger. My friend and I would like do like midnight runs to Circle K. And like we would walk through like the bad like there are certain neighborhoods where I grew up where like during the daytime it was like they were fine, but during like after
where you are now, or was this like your old place?
It's where I am now.
Okay.
Like when I was younger, there's like certain parts of the neighborhood and certain areas that are like during the daytime, like it's fine, nobody cares, like it's fine. But like there are certain parts where like after midnight, like certain sketchy people kind of come, like crawl out of the woodwork, little goblins and ghouls.
Mm-hmm.
And they are
a lot of Kyles, I find.
Yeah, a lot of Kyles, right? Yeah, exactly. So there has probably been a couple times.
They just wear the Dickie shorts and the black DC shoes and the snapbacks.
There were a couple times where like people that I thought were either following me or stalking me, I ran away from them. So like I don't know if they like, I could have just been.
Well, also I didn't find this out until we were much older that there was like a huge homeless encampment near that area. Like it's still kind of far away, but yeah, there was a lot. Of
But
homeless
yeah,
people
so like
around.
there have been times where I ran where I thought that I was in danger. I don't know if it like saved my life, but like yeah, I have run because oh crap, I'm in danger. I'm in danger.
All right, there,
Uh,
Ralphie.
Never have I ever flirted my way out of a speeding ticket. I have never gotten a speeding ticket.
Neither have I.
I have never been pulled. Have I? No, I've never been pulled over. There were times where I thought
We've been in the car when we were pulled over,
Oh,
but
yeah.
we weren't pulled over.
there was a
Like you
time.
remember when we were in Ojai, and then Chris was our buddy Chris, you and me, and Chris's sister, and we were coming down from their old house, and then she got pulled over for like a speeding ticket.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a time where I thought I was being pulled over, but it wasn't me. So I was driving to school. So I used to have to commute to my college, and it was about an hour and a half drive each way. And so I was on the freeway, and there's a cop car directly behind me, and we're going down the freeway, and after about 10 minutes, sirens directly behind me. Woo! And I'm pooping my pants because this is like only the second or third time I had driven to school, and I was like, what did I do? And so my off ramp was coming up, and so I'm like, all right, they want me to pull over. And like there was a cop car, the cop car was behind me, and so I went over to my off ramp, and I thought that the guy was gonna follow me, and as soon as I merged into my lane, the cop car like basically like drove around me in like a square in like an L formation, and they were trying to get a guy like 4 cars ahead of where I was. But they were right, but the guy was right behind the cop was right behind me, and so I thought like, oh no. Anyway, that's that story. But I was like, oh thank God that was not for me. Never have I ever taken part in a talent show. I have never done that.
No, neither have I.
Never.
Never.
Oh, sorry.
go ahead.
Oh, do you have the list? Do you want to read some?
Yeah.
Oh, go for it.
Never have I ever made money by performing on the street. No.
Not that I can think
Some
of.
of these are weird. Never
Yeah.
have I ever broken something at a friend's house and not told them.
So growing up, yes, I did. I have done this.
You did do this one.
So I used to have this friend that I knew from school, and I would go over to his house a lot on the weekends. And it's not you, by the way. It was a different friend. So one time I went over to his house on the Friday night, and we were watching a movie and playing PS2 games. We were eating pizza and playing PS2 games and watching movies. And so his bathroom, the only bathroom in his house, was upstairs. So I went up the stairs and I went to the bathroom, and I went to go flush the toilet, and they have the little metal plunger. And I swear to God, I didn't mean.
Is it the one with the chain where you have to pull down?
Yeah. And by the way, I didn't even pull it that hard. I pulled it like the appropriate amount of tautness.
Like you're turning off a lamp, right?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't kill it. I just kind of went very lightly, like. And so I went to go pull the chain, and it just went snap. And he's like, my friend's dad was one of those dudes where he was a big, like, burly, like, bear guy who was like he kind of had a temperament. Like he was never gonna like beat us or whatever, but like he was the kind of guy where
he would chew you out a little
yeah,
bit.
if he was the kind of guy where if he was angry, he'd let you know.
Yeah.
He was this big beefy bear dude, and if he was upset, he would like get up in your face, and it wouldn't even matter like if you were his son or not, or like whatever. He would be like, what do you mean? Blah blah blah. And so like, I was like, and I decided I just decided like, I just put the chain back down, and then I guess nobody noticed, thankfully, because
nobody had to shit for the rest of the night.
Nobody heard it. And then like a couple of days later, my friend is like, oh yeah, our toilet chain broke, and I'm like, oh wow, that sucks.
Oh no, what happened?
So if you're listening to this, old friend of mine, I'm sorry, that was me, but I didn't do it on purpose. It was already kind of broken.
No, for sure.
All right, next one.
Let's see. Never have I ever snooped through a friend's bathroom or bedroom without them knowing. No. What the fuck are these questions?
Not that I'm aware of.
I mean, like, if I go to somebody's bathroom and there's like stuff on the counter, like I'll look there, but I'm
yeah,
not gonna
like,
go through it. It's
I'm not
like,
gonna.
oh, he uses Colgate instead
Yeah,
of Aquafresh.
Yeah,
okay.
Wow, Listerine. Wow, big spender. Yeah, exactly.
I know, big spend. Oh, he uses he uses the brown Listerine. He's probably a serial killer.
I have done this next one. Done this next one.
Never have I ever. You've ruined somebody's vacation?
Okay, not. It depends on what you want to call ruin someone's vacation. Okay, so when I was young, and by the way, this is like, right at the begin, like right. Obama was running for re-election for his second term as president, and
okay, so it's like 2011, 2012.
Yeah. So my dad had decided to take my mom and I to Palm Desert for on vacation.
Okay.
And so it just coincidentally happened that the like Republican like national convention was like gathering in this hotel, and so all these like so like basically they were trying to like, it was the very early stages of like trying to find the Republican nominee. It wasn't like the official convention, but like it was like
was it Romney?
Yeah. So it was.
It was.
Yeah. It was Rodney. Romney. Sorry, Rodney. It's Rodney Dangerfield. I get no respect at all.
I got no respect from the GOP.
Yeah, exactly. Well, nowadays. Womp womp. Anyway.
Reagan was a bitch.
So all these really prominent Republican figures were at this convention, and they were like, you
could have accidentally brushed against Ted Cruz.
Yeah, exactly. Back then, I wouldn't have known who Ted Cruz was, but like he was probably there. What ended up happening is like I was young and dumb, and so I went on the balcony. This story is actually hilarious. So we were on like the second floor of this hotel, and we had a balcony, and so outside the balcony there was this big this party area that was like roped off for all the people at this convention. And so I was talking to my dad and my mom, and I'm like, I'm gonna yell Obama 2012 out the window just to stick it to these guys. And my dad said, don't do it, please. And I'm like, why not? And this shows you my dad's fucking priorities, okay? Like he wasn't concerned that I was going to get yelled at or that I was going to get like called up by the hotel staff. No, he wasn't worried about any of that. My dad was like, listen, Patrick, I have marijuana and I don't want anyone from the... I have marijuana and I don't...
That is your dad. That is your dad to a T.
It's like, my dad was like, listen, I have marijuana and I don't want the hotel staff to come up here and harass me about the fact that I have marijuana.
Oh God. And this was like it was legal in California.
It was like, it was fine. It was the kind of thing where like my dad was not gonna like get arrested.
You get a slap. Yeah, your dad.
My dad was not gonna get arrested or anything, but like.
Yeah, he'll get like a fine. He'll probably have to pay a couple $100.
No. Contraire. My dad has.
No, that's right. He had the card.
Yeah, my dad has always been he's always had a cannabis card for like pretty much his entire life. My dad is a very by the books kind of guy.
Well, there you go.
So like he can carry a certain amount with him wherever he goes. But like it's still,
I think for those cards you can carry a lot.
But like
I think you can carry up to an ounce.
It still would not have been like. But anyway, so my dad went in the shower. Like
I would.
My dad is like, okay, I'm gonna go in the shower. Don't do anything. And I'm like, okay. And my mom was in the room.
And it was that day that Pat chose violence.
Yeah, so I went out the window and I'm like, Obama 2012, and like here's the disappointing part of this story. Nobody looked up and nobody cared. Nobody cared.
Damn it. You had to scream it louder.
So I guess I kind of, but here's the thing, my dad, like, I yelled it like multiple times because I wanted them to hear me. And
like, Pat, shut the fuck up.
And like my dad was getting out of the shower and he's like, I hear you. So like my dad was afraid the entire trip that the hotel staff was gonna come to our room and be like, sir, Was there?
Do you have a pet skunk in here?
Do you have somebody who is yelling at our guests at the plaza down below? Like, yeah. So if you count
Are
that
you
as
carrying some loud?
yeah, like it smells like marijuana in here.
Smells like some laser lettuce.
But no, so that was my dad's priorities. He wasn't worried about me. He's like, if they can carry you away, I don't care.
Oh
no.
God.
But no, that was that story. So I did kind of
Alright,
ruin my dad's vacation.
I have something similar. I wasn't there when they did it, but
Yeah.
have I ever told you the story about my brother's basketball team in the Embassy Suites?
No.
It was like a basketball trip. It was in Vegas. Him and a bunch of his teammates, allegedly, I didn't see this. Apparently, they all got naked and were streaking throughout the whole hotel.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and apparently, like, one of them got naked and was like, because they had like, it was like a big cylinder, this hotel,
Right.
And on the bottom there was like a little mini pond with some swans, and somebody was going in there and trying to get the swans, so they almost
Oh.
kicked us out.
Wow.
So I guess that kind of counts.
yeah.
But yeah, that
Okay. Next one. Let's see.
never have I ever walked more than 6
All right,
hours.
I'm gonna say that yes, I have, because I've been like, and here's the. I'm gonna say that you and I have both done this because we have both been on our feet. We have both been on our feet for more than 6 hours at a time. I have.
Oh yeah, because of work and theme,
Yeah.
in theme parks.
So
easily.
I used to work at a restaurant. You still currently work at a restaurant, and so like, listen, if you work at a restaurant, especially if you're any kind of like food runner or any kind of like server, you're running back and forth all goddamn day. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
count that as walking for more than 6 hours. If anything,
Okay.
I've done that for longer than 6 hours.
All right.
Ne-
Okay.
And I'm gonna say you've done that too, because like I'm pretty sure you
Well, I do.
like not walking technically speaking, but like you've been on your feet for
There's-
like 10 hours.
Yeah. No. Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Never have I ever jumped from a roof.
I have done this.
I don't think I have.
I've
almost fallen off a roof.
I have jumped off a roof onto a trampoline.
Wait, no. Technically, I have done this because with the way my house is, like the roof is like kind of like you could easily get onto my roof really easily, and sometimes I'll like jump off my roof onto the stairs.
Parkour.
So that parkour, yeah. So that kind of counts.
So I had a friend. So growing up, I had a friend, and he had a 2-story house and a trampoline. And it was a
I
big
already know where this
it
is
was a
going.
big one though. Like it wasn't like it was like what, like, you know how like some parents would buy their kid like the little bitch trampoline.
No, they had the Chad trampoline.
Yeah, like my dad, like my sister and I growing up told my dad like, hey, we want a trampoline, and my dad went to Costco and bought one for like $30. Here you go. It was this little like 1-person trampoline. No.
I love how like every story about your dad that you talk about on the podcast, he's like you kind of make him out to be this like curmudgeon. He's not.
Like, okay, like my dad has a very distinct parenting style, and I think his personality and parenting style are two distinct different things.
Right. But yeah, but
like especially
for Clarence, at least for me personally, like your dad's like one of the coolest people I know.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I like my dad. But like growing up, I have some stories about my dad. There's just no helping that.
Oh, trust me, I have some stories about my dad too.
I like my dad quite a bit. But yeah. Anyway. So yeah, on the second story of my friend's house, his parents had bought him the big boy trampoline.
That's the one where it's like you could really fuck yourself up if you accidentally fall.
Man, it was fun though. We spent hours on that thing. But yeah, one day we wanted to be like.
You guys ever do moon jumps?
His mom even told us like, don't you dare jump off the second story of the house into the trampoline, and we did it. We were dumb and stupid.
Oh yeah.
By the way, if we had fallen even like 2 inches in the wrong direction,
you would have
pancakes.
Shattered your knee. Oh yeah, you're dead.
We were so dumb.
You're not dead. You're just severely hurt.
Kids, don't try this at home. Don't do it. All right.
Hi, my name's Patrick Arnava. Welcome to Jackass.
Yeah. We did it the one time, and we just said like after that we were like, okay, let's just retire early. We were just like, let's stop here. Never have I ever shoplifted. Okay, as a little kid, okay.
Okay, I have never done this, but I have a funny story.
As a little kid, my mom would take me shopping, and they had like this like bulk buy section of the old Ralphs that used to be by my house.
Oh yeah,
and
the
they
shitty
had
Ralphs.
like buckets of candy. And so they had this bucket of taffy candy, and like and like I was a very little kid. I was like 5 or 6 years old. Like, I distinctly remember a couple different times just kind of going like,
I mean, it's right there.
yeah. And like, I think like one time my mom caught me doing it as like a 6 or a 7-year-old, and she was like, don't do that. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so
But that's
I
like
have
the
never
closest
personally
that's the closest I got though.
That's not so bad. I specifically remember this because I ended up getting in trouble for this retroactively. So this was back in my old place. It was like it was like my old place, and my cousins were staying with us for the summer. Like we kind of like took them in. So one things that we would do is we would get some change, and then we'd go get some snacks, and then we would go and watch movies and stuff like that. So I'm just busy just minding my own business. It's like, all right, I'm going to go get an energy drink or something like that. You guys go. And then a couple minutes go by, and then my cousin says, we got to go. We got to go right now.
We gotta go, bro.
And it's like, what the fuck? And it's like, go, 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 go. And like, I didn't get anything. I literally just ran outside of the front door. It's like, what the fuck did you guys do? What the fuck did you guys do? So apparently my cousin got caught shoplifting. And I was like, what the fuck, man? It's like, we had the money for that. Why would you shoplift? And then
wasn't there another story you told me where like one of your excuse me, one of your cousins like went into like a Target or like a Whole Foods, and they just like in the store they opened up like a Monster Energy drink, and they just drank it, and then they just put the can down.
Yeah. Oh, it was at the Ralphs. It was at the same Ralphs.
Yeah. Oh,
but here's why I remember the story so vividly. I get home. I have not done anything. Okay, I had the money. I was going to pay for everything. It's like you're like apparently like the police got involved. They came to the house and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then so I was subsequently banned from going to that Ralph's by myself forever, or at least not with the cousins. Like, what the hell? I didn't even do anything. I didn't even steal anything.
You didn't know that there was even anything stolen until after you ran out of the store.
They saw all of us. My fucking cousin stole like.
You got thrown into the wall. You got put on the wall of shame for something you didn't even do.
Yeah, I didn't steal anything.
At the very least, if you're gonna punish me for stealing something, at least let me steal something.
Yeah, it's like they caught. There were 3 of us. It was my 2 younger cousins, and then it was me. But they're like a year or 2 younger than me, and I'm just like, I was really mad with it. And like it was me and one of my other cousins. We were fucking pissed at him because like he got in trouble, and then I got in trouble. It's like I didn't even fucking do anything. It's like, but my parents were just like,
no, that's not true. You did something.
So no. Well, I told them, but it's okay. Well, you're not allowed to go there by yourself or with the cousins because my cousin was actually banned from the store. I was like, what the shit? I didn't even do anything. That's not fair. That's bullshit.
That is such a 90s parenting move. Yeah, okay, listen. We know that you didn't. I know that it wasn't your idea, but you were still with the group, so we're going to blame you by association.
No, it was like
we're gonna blame you by association.
No,
screw you.
No, they basically like Full Metal Jacketed me. It's just like, I'm not gonna punish him. I am gonna punish all of you.
Yeah,
I was like, motherfucker. I was pissed.
Anyway,
was so fucking pissed.
Next one. Never have I ever seen an alligator or crocodile in the wild. I've seen one at the zoo, never in the wild. I do not live in Florida. Thank God.
Thank God. My cousin, who's a deputy, he works for the sheriff's department down there, and like one of the number one calls that he gets is getting alligators and shit out of people's like pools and like yards and shit. That's like the number one thing that they go for.
Okay. Never have I ever set my or someone else's hair on fire. Okay, I never did this.
I've done it a couple times.
What?
It just happened to me recently. Yeah.
So you set someone's hair on fire on purpose?
Oh, on purpose? Oh, no, not on purpose.
Okay, yeah. So, like, I
No.
knew, like, okay, here's the thing. I actually knew people, like, I would have, like, friends I would have friends that'd be like, oh, hey, let's go over, I'm just gonna, like, make up a name. Let's go over to, like, Frankie's house. Who's Frankie? He's a guy I know. Come on, you'll love him. And we'd go over to, like, Frankie's house, and he would, like, grab a can of WD-40 and, like, a Bic lighter and just start lighting, like, paper, and, like, and, like, candy wrappers on fire. And, like, just to watch it burn. Like, did you know kids like this? I knew kids like this.
Oh, yeah.
Who were just like,
I knew kids like this all the time.
burn, burn, burn. It's like, oh my God.
That's when we would get like, WD-40 is super flammable. Also, bug spray.
So, like, one time, I knew this kid. I'm just gonna. You could point a gun to my head. I don't remember this kid's name at all. This was so long ago, and I met him one time, so it's not like I didn't ever get to know him. But, like, one time, my friend was like, "Let's go over to this guy's house," and I'm like, "Okay, what could go wrong?" And so he kept trying to burn, like, candy wrappers and, like, pieces of like printer paper, and then for his final performance of the evening.
Coup d'etat.
He took his sneaker and, like, sprayed the entire outside of it and the bottom of the sole. And he so thankfully, I think that it looked to me like the Bic lighter was, like, starting to run out of kerosene or whatever is in there. And so he kept trying to click it and it wouldn't light up. And my friend and I were like, oh, wouldn't you know it, we have to go now.
Oh, what a shame.
But I am convinced that he burned himself to the ground.
Yeah, probably. All right.
Moving on.
So, never have I ever ridden an animal. I've ridden a horse once in my life.
I have ridden a camel.
A camel? Where the hell have you ridden a camel?
Okay, so this was years and years and years and fucking years ago. So there's a park by my house, and one year the city decided to like, basically host like a public carnival at the park. And so they hired, like, they wanted, like, a petting zoo, and they couldn't get a petting zoo. So so you know how you go to, like, the county fair and there's like there's like the ride,
like the carousel with the horses,
ride a pony,
and shit.
yeah, kind of thing. So this was not ride a horse and ride a pony. This was ride a camel. And I couldn't, and, like, part of me couldn't believe this. And I went with my dad, and I went with my dad and one of his friends had taken both me and my friend's dad's son. And my dad was like, that's silly and dumb. But my dad's, but my friend's dad, but his friend was like, hey, do you kids want to go ride on the camels? We'll take some photos.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I rode on a camel for about 20 minutes. It was fun. I liked it.
Yeah. Apparently they're really easy to ride.
So apparently they took a bunch of photos of it. I never got to see them. So I'm assuming that my dad's friend to this day has photos of me on the back of a camel going.
I remember when I was 5 and we were at, like, a horse ranch for some reason, and my mom was just like, oh, you're gonna go ride with so and so, and, like, we rid the horses, like, we went through the obstacle course and shit like that. It was really fun. All right, so
okay, let's do 3 more, and then we'll save the rest for next time.
Oh man, I looked down some of them. We definitely have to save this list and go through the list.
We're gonna come back to this list next time, but I don't want to go too much further.
All right.
Let's see.
Never have I ever had a bad fall because I was walking and texting. No, but I have tripped.
Yeah, same deal. Nowadays I never walk and text. It's a dumb idea, but yeah, back when phones.
Well, that's a cool thing with those AirPods, because if I don't need to, like, look at the screen to press and play. You can just, like, click the stem a little bit and it'll pause and play it. Like, it's awesome.
My earbuds do the same kind of thing. It's like one tap activation.
One tap. Yeah.
One tap. I've tripped a couple times. Never have I ever been arrested. Not arrested, but it was sort of the same thing as you. Like, one time I was roped in with a bunch of kids who, like, one time I went camping with my friends, and there was, like, we were a group of, like, 4 or 5 friends, and at this campground, there was like 3 other little like campsites that had like 5 other kids. So like so there was about 30 kids at this campsite, and we were a group of like 5 kids. And so apparently at some point during our second night there, one of the kids had like slashed the tires of somebody who like worked at the campgrounds. And so the only witness said like, oh yeah, it was like a little boy who I saw a little boy running away with blonde hair. And so literally all the kids at the campground were gathered up. Like anyone who could even like be even remotely responsible for the tire slashing, we all got gathered together.
You figured they would just pick out the blondes. Why do they have to get like Jimmy the redhead?
Well, so they had the police officers and the lady who like the one witness was this old lady who like was kind of unreliable. And so basically we all the kids had to get in like a lineup.
Oh, you got put into a lineup.
I got put into a fucking lineup. And it's like my friends and I are like, we didn't do anything. We want to go do archery or some crap. We didn't do anything. It's kind of like your story. We didn't do anything.
Yeah, that's... God damn it.
And so they found the kid. In fact, he was dumb. He had the knife in his pocket with him. It was so
dumbass.
He was so dumb. And the lady was like, it was him. And so he got outed. And so, but yeah, I was part of a lineup, and like I was held. I was held temporarily by the police.
That's fucked.
Because like this lady was like, "Oh, it was a kid," and my friends and I were kids.
It's like, this is a kids camp. You're gonna have to be a little bit more specific than that.
Let's see.
Gertrude.
How about you? I'm assuming no.
There was one time when, okay, so this was my 21st birthday. I am gone. I am nonverbal. So, like, I had some cops look at me funny because I was drinking. Okay, I was drinking one of the old watermelon Four Locos out of a brown paper bag.
Oh, the old formula.
The old formula.
Oh yeah, you were gone. You were gone.
Yeah, I was gone. No, oh, dude, I drank so much that night. But yeah, that was the last thing I was drinking. I was drinking out of a brown paper bag, and like my brother and my cousins were kind of like shielding me a little bit because they were kind of standing in front of me, and the cops were kind of looking at me funny. I was just like. Oh, beep, beep, deep, deep. So that's the closest thing.
Okay.
Let's see.
Never have I ever pressured someone into getting a tattoo or piercing. Me personally.
I've been pressured into getting a piercing, but
me personally, I'm not crazy about tattoos. I'm not crazy about piercings. I think peer pressuring people into I think peer pressuring someone into doing that is kind of a crappy thing to do.
I got with ear pierced. I got bullied into it by my family to do it.
Can you still wear earrings?
No.
Oh, okay.
But the hole's still there.
Okay.
Like, it hasn't really shut all that much. But yeah, I got pressured into it, and I'm just like, fuck, man. So for like 1 year in 5th grade, I was rocking like a fucking 𝐏𝐥𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐿 stud.
Yeah, buddy.
God.
I remember I think in middle school you actually wore it a couple times. You tried to like
a couple times.
You
but
wore
that
it a
was
couple
when I was
times.
like,
you were trying to be cool. You were trying to be hip. Like
I was trying to be. It was so stupid. Oh God.
Never have I ever
gone surfing. Not traditional surfing, body surfing, and like
I've done bodyboarding, and I've done boogie. If you count boogie boarding as surfing, I've done a lot of boogie boarding.
I want to learn actually how to properly surf. That's always been a dream of mine.
I have done a lot of boogie boarding. It's fun if you know how to do it.
Yeah, no, it's a blast.
You know what I want to do?
This is I think.
It's called like wind skimming. It's like
oh yeah, like wave riding or something.
Yeah, so like what it is, it's you get this little it's like a surfboard, but it's almost flatter and harder than a surfboard. And what you do is like you run along the shoreline, and you throw the board, and you step on the board, and you slide.
I've done that many times.
Yeah.
And I've fallen every single time.
It looks fun, but it does look painful.
It's a lot of fun, but God help you if you hit a rock on the way there, because your ass is going flying. Your ass is grass.
I can only imagine. Thankfully, you're on the beach, so it's not like you're gonna fall onto rocks or anything. But Still.
I know, but still, it hurts.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
no,
And
no sir.
I think this next one will be the perfect one for us to end on.
Okay, that's fine.
Never have I ever walked out of a movie because it was bad. I've only done this one time.
I have never walked out of a movie in my life. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how bad the movie was. There were movies that I was close to walking out on, but I've never done it. I've never. So at home, there are some movies that I watched like 20 minutes of and said screw this, and turned it off. But
that's
doesn't
not like walking out of the theater,
count.
though.
Like if you pay,
that doesn't count.
The spirit of the question is, have you gone and paid money for a theater ticket and walked out of a movie? I have never done it.
This one. I've done it one time. You were there.
I think you've told the story on the podcast, but tell the abridged version.
Okay, I'll give you like the quick version. So it was near the end of Interstellar.
The best Christopher Nolan movie.
Oh God. Anyway, so yeah, and it gets near the end, like after he goes through the black hole, and I got so fucking mad, like this is fucking dumb. I was like, I literally left after they said the line.
Happened? Okay, just for context, if you've never seen the movie, like Interstellar is this like very grim portrayal of like the space age future, where like really humanity is so far gone that people are trying to find life on other planets and stuff, and so the whole beat of the movie is that like space is unforgiving and unrelenting and it's cold.
Your feelings.
Space is cold and brutal and is like there is no love in the vacuum of space. And so there's the main character of the movie is this guy who's trying to like save the universe, and he is like for the climax of the movie, he's like floating out in the void of space, and he's basically like accepting the fact that he's going to die in space. And he's like I surrender myself to the void. And then astronauts from the future, like basically people from the future, create like a geometric platform structure, which he then uses to get back to Earth. And so the explanation as for how the people from the future found the main character in the void of space is that, love transcends the gravity of time.
No, love transcends all of space and time. And I literally just I slammed my stuff down and I walked out of the theater.
He got so mad. I was there in the theater, and he walked out. He got so flustered. And listen, at this point in the movie, I was laughing my ass off because the ending of Interstellar is so clown shoes. It is pretty clown shoes. It's so lame. That
it's pretty lame.
And so I'm there. I'm laughing. I'm having a good time. Nick is like, unbeknownst to me, I'm sitting next to Nick, he's fuming. And as soon as the character says, "Love transcends time and space," you just from my perspective, you see Nick, who's to my right, put his face in his hands, go, "What?" Get up and like storm out of the theater. I'm watching him do this. I'm watching him do this, and I am laughing my ass off.
That was the last thing I heard was just you cackling in the theater, and then I'm like watching him go down
the aisle. I'm watching you go up the alley, the aisle, and I'm just like, oh no, don't walk out of the theater. Don't do it.
And then our buddy Chris was there too, and he's just like, what's going on?
Yeah, our buddy Chris, who's actually focused on the movie, is like, wait, what's happening? Yeah, exactly.
Oh god, that was the only time. Yeah, I've done it.
And so you walked out. You walked out of the theater to the front of the theater and like paced around.
You didn't see this, but like the staff was like looking at me funny because I was literally like pacing back and forth, just you. I was going like, I can't fucking believe this. I can't. I just can't. And they're just like, the fuck is this guy?
Yeah. Wow, he must have hated that movie.
Oh god. Well, they must have thought I was like on meth or something because I was literally just pacing back and forth, talking to myself, just fuming.
Credit to Nick. He did come back and he walked back into the theater.
But it was like 5 minutes though.
It was a solid $5.
It was a solid $5. Oh man.
And I think that'll do it.
I think that's the show.
I think that'll do it.
Make sure to check us out on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment within the first hour. It really helps us out. It will help us rage against the machine, fight against the algorithm.
Create engagement.
Create engagement for us.
Like each other's comments. Reply to each other's comments. Comment on each other's comments. Comment on your comments.
Make a thread. Just put all of Shakespeare in one thread.
That's right.
I don't think you can do that, but still,
dude. No, I think
come check us out.
I think they changed it on YouTube, but you used to be able. There used to be no character limit on comments.
No, they post novellas on there. It was
people
awesome.
used to post the entire King James Bible in the comments section of videos that had nothing to do with the Bible. So if you really wanted to read the King James Bible, just go to the 𝐏𝐥𝐞𝐚𝐬𝐞 video on YouTube.
What a songster mistress you are. But anyway, make sure to check us out on Twitch. You can follow me here on Lucky Magician 76. Where can they find you? Where can they find you?
You can find me at twitch.com/theobsidianman. You can also find me on twitter.com/theobsidianman or twitter.com. If you type in Dark Knight Cecil, I'm probably the first thing that shows up.
You can also find me on Twitter at UnluckyMagician76. I really have to check the format of it, but you'll find me there. Also, check out my TikTok at UnluckyMagician76. Also, I've been kind of slow about posting, but I'm slowly getting back into it.
If you're watching
check out my TikToks.
If you're watching this on Twitch and you're not already watching and subscribed to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/theweeklychat with Nick and Pat, go check that out, please. But there's going to be new episodes. If you missed we record these episodes on Tuesday, Wednesday, and they go up every single Friday. Every single one. It's incredible.
You get to see his amazing thumbnails. I can't wait for this episode. This one's going to be a good one.
As always, treat each other well. Go get vaccinated. If you think that's a political statement, go fuck yourself. Just do it, please. We love you.
Folks,
nobody wants the coronavirus anymore. Go get vaccinated. Do it.
Folks, we had a good time tonight. We learned how to work together as a superhero to defeat the armies of darkness.
Yes.
We learned that the cockhead can be even more colder
Bobby B.
than we thought. Bobby B. We answered some questions.
Never have I ever enjoyed an episode of the Weekly Chat more than this one.
I know. A ding, a ding, a ding, ding, ding. Good night, everybody.
Love each other. Respect each other. Social distance.
And peace.
Just wear a mask, please. Even if you're already vaccinated, just do it. Good night.
All right. Good night, everybody.